Here we are, 366 days later. Of course, thinking about the November 19th. It's November 18th and it's 2024. We're not sulking or mourning about the India-Australia World Cup final. A year's ticked on, so much has happened. A week is ticked on, so much has happened. And we're here to talk about it on the Monday Night Live pod, episode 54, which is a massive one. It's all things that you guys want to know about in this current climate of the cricket calendar. My name is Avnish Hegde, and of course, the two men of the Monday Night Live who always join me in every cricket chat that we've had. It's Akshay Kumaraswamy and, of course, Nikhil Pope. But Akshay, how are we? Good start today. Talk about a productive Monday. We've got a good one so far, an unwind later this week.
Yeah, definitely a great start to this week. Fantastic unwind. Got to hear a lot about it. And of course, the auction list came out last week. And then there's so many updates coming about the BGT. So lots to talk about. Definitely super excited. 5 days to go for the auction. Of course, being the youngest of the lot, I will probably be a lot more IPL leaning that way. But yeah, in general, lots to look forward to in terms of cricket.
Indeed. Nix, how you been? Because last week we were all recovering from Gurkirat's wedding. Now it's not that anymore.
Yeah, the cricket fever is catching on, and rightly so. I've just had a good rerun of every BGT game that has happened in the last few decades, so to see. So good to get into that test match vibe because it's a fever, and you need to get it in the right amount. And very cute of Akshay to be saying ageist style that the youngest of the lot, and IPL said, we'll get back at him later.
Indeed, lots of love already coming in from the comments, and good to see that, guys. Asmit asking Kumaraswamy questions already, which we love. We'll take all the remaining questions in the 12th man segment if you guys don't know the Monday Night Live drill. But quickly, like this video because it is going to be an absolute brilliant watch or listen if you guys are tuning in on Spotify as well. So let me just give you a little lowdown of what we're going to, of course, talk about. As the thumbnail suggests, the IPL auction list is out, and there's some fascinating names which will go under the hammer. I'm talking about even a 13-year-old boy to, of course, a 42-year-old Anderson. And then the small matter of the BGT. Apparently, India and Australia are playing some series, but we'll talk about that with the royalty of one of the Team India's finest ever coaches they've ever seen. So look, lots to get into, and we'll talk about random other things. Sri Lanka still winning, Australia, Pakistan, the WBBL, and more in the best of the rest. Did you guys check out the mock auctions by Ashwin? Looks fun. We checked out the mock auction of pretty much all the other cricket competitors in the YouTube space, and we loved it, man, because look, the auction does bring about a huge culture, and we all have to embrace it. Who can RR go for? Alok, thank you for your questions. We'll address every single one of them indeed. Right, enough of my fluff, because like I said, the Border Trophy is just going to hit our screens, and there's so much to talk to, not just Akshay and Nikhil about, but we just thought of course, getting royalty, like I said. And let's, of course, introduce a man that we know kind of well right now, talking about our Sridhar, who joins us from the comfort of his house somewhere. Sridhar, sir, thank you so much for your time. Always good to have you on, and you've done a hell of a job for the beard. Kudos on that first.
Good evening, boys. Yeah, I'm sitting in the comforts of my daughter's room. She doesn't know I'm in here, so I've sneaked in here. Yeah, I didn't do anything with my beard. It's just the way it is. But it's wonderful joining you all, guys, to be speaking about whether it is BGT or the auctions. I myself am immersed in the auctions as to each team what they're going to do, because I'm going to do it for obviously Jio and Star. So yeah, it's exciting times ahead, and looking forward to this show as well. There's so much energy in this box already.
Always, as always, with me and Akshay, there's no shortage of energy. And then Nick's also have a few great questions up his sleeve for you. So we'll get into those immediately, because we have about 15-20 minutes. So just reminisce, take a stroll down memory with Sridhar sir, because he, of course, was part of the 2018-19 win and the 2021 win as well, which was sensational. So first, a couple of questions from me, and then we'll take some from the chat as well. Sridhar sir, what are your hopes and concerns going into this year's Border Trophy? I know you've given some good headlines in the last couple of weeks that Kohli should reinvigorate his beast mode, bring out the child in him. So what is your advice for not just Virat, the other senior statesmen, and the Team India right now prior to this Perth test?
Look, you spoke about concerns, and there are a few, obviously, with Gill missing out and Rohit not being there. Shashvi and I'm guessing Abhimanyu will open the inning with KL at 3. Virat 4, Rishabh 5, and probably we would see Jurel at 6, Jadu 7, Nitish 8, Bumrah, Akash, and of course the DCP from my city, whom I have to be wary of. Will finish off the 11. We could see a odd surprise, but looks like more or less this is going to be it. So the biggest concern for us is obviously getting to 300. We got to put 300 on board every time we go to bat. That will give us a good chance to compete, because we got serious bowling attack. So yeah, that to me looks like a bit of a challenge now. We are just entering the Optus Stadium tomorrow. Till yesterday, the team was practicing at the Vaca, but from tomorrow you'd be at the Optus, which can be a little intimidating in terms of its size and just being the best sporting venue across sports in the world. It's a sight to behold, the Optus Stadium. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. As will Bumrah get enough support from the other end, or will he overbowl himself? Or being a captain, sometimes as a bowler you do underbowl yourself. You're a bit wary of that. And Bumrah's captaincy, will his personality rub off on his captaincy? Most of the time it does. Will it be a positive thing or a negative thing? And will India put 350 on board? These are the questions that are worrying me. But Virat Kohli, obviously, with his expertise and experience in Australia, with his love for those pitches and love for the country, and his performances against that team, obviously, to me is a big positive going forward.
Yeah,
and of
just
course,
thinking.
I'll come to Pant later.
Yeah, Pant indeed, because you, of course, were with him when that 36 all-out happened, and you spoke to us earlier, I think last year, in a special series about all of those chats. It's still available on our YouTube channel. Go check it out, guys. And if you guys are tuning in, go already throw in some questions for Sridhar sir. I know there's a few belters thrown in by Abhishek so far. Join him and the rest of the gang. Akshay and Nick, I'll just give you an opportunity to speak to him as well. But last one from me, really quickly, because you already quickly named out your 11 essentially at Perth. They're keeping, say, Padikkal back. And I think that India A contingent, who, of course, were there for 20 days, they're flying out. Padikkal is the only guy who's staying back. He got a decent 80. That 88 in particular, I think, has given the management a little bit of confidence to keep him in. And Dhruv Jurel, sir, I just want to ask you about these two players. Do you think they could probably start that test? Or again, do you think what you said will probably be that's the case?
Dhruv Jurel, in my opinion, is starting 99.9% at number 6.
Okay.
After his show at the MCG for India A against Australia A. Padikkal is in with a chance, but what's your philosophy then? If you're going to play Padikkal, that means you'll be leaving out Ishwaran is already in the squad. And so that'll be a tough call for the management to take, because you have nominated Abhimanyu, you rewarded him for his domestic performances, you nominated him as your third opener. Leaving him out and getting Padikkal in for recency form is something which is a tough call to make. But having said that, Padikkal is slightly taller than Abhi, and would be able to negotiate that extra bounce slightly better if he's able to get good interception points going. That's a big call for Gautam and his team. Because then that will set a precedent, and I mean, I don't know whether they will take the call, but they have him back. Apparently, there's nothing official yet, but we hear that Padikkal is still in Perth.
Yeah, Akshay, Nick, what do your 11s look like? Yeah, if I had to ask you guys right now, because the whole conundrum is the top order, but it's also that 5, 6, 7, 8. You feel 99.9% Jurel is a lock-in according to Sridhar, so I agree with him there. Do you guys see NKR making his debut at Perth, given that it's not conducive to spin? And also, Sundar, Jadeja, Ashwin, how do you play that card? And is Prasidh also in your 11 with Akashdeep / Harshit Rana? So Nick's first and then Akshay.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with Sridhar sir. Lovely to be sharing space with him. And I think, given also by the reports and the way the India A and the Australia A game went, I think it's clear that they are banking on the extra seamer, because Perth is not going to assist spin match. Now, again, you can talk about Nathan Lyon taking a lot of wickets, over spin working there, but India will be better suited to get NKR. The only thing that I want from Jasprit as a captain that in that regard is manage the three bowlers along with him. Because I think what is crucial is, as Sridhar sir rightly pointed out, as a captain, at times you may be apprehensive to over bowling or under bowling. But if you have good plans charted out for everybody, that will just help them calm the nerves down, because you don't see Ashwin playing, you don't see Sundar playing. The other two pacers, Akashdeep and Siraj, they have blown a bit. Again, Akashdeep has rarely bowled with the old ball, and Siraj has blown hot and cold. So it will need that experienced hand of Jasprit to really settle the settle the nerves down.
What do you think, Akshay?
Firstly, this word of flex. Last year, when we were in Hyderabad, I remember talking to Sridhar sir about Nitish Kumar Reddy back then hadn't made his IPL debut, and Sridhar sir had told even that, like when we were having this chat, ki boss, of course, keep an eye on him. The only thing is, like I remember him talking about, in terms of attitudes and how North Indians na attitude में आगे बढ़ जाते हैं कि वो बस आते हैं ऐसे शान से और चौड़ से आते हैं, तो people just assume कि these people probably know their shit. But of course, Nitish Kumar Reddy is someone to watch out for. And I genuinely think he deserves a debut. I know it's going to be baptism by fire. It won't be easy at all. But given the kind of balance he will offer to the side, we remember what role Shardul Thakur had played in that 2020-21 series. And that is the kind of flexibility we need. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the batting firepower to go with a 6-batter, 5-bowler, combination. So I think Nitish Kumar Reddy has to be there for me. And yeah, in terms of the 11, it is more of a, I don't know if I can say bias, but I do want to see Abhimanyu Ishwaran being rewarded for his, domestic performances. Yeah, like it's high time that we show. I mean, we as in BCCI shows that, boss, there is some relevance to our domestic structure. There is, certain weightage that is being given to it. So if like Avnish mentioned, agar Padikkal aa jata hai yahan pe ahead of Ishwaran, once again, it almost in a way negates all the good work done by not just Ishwaran, by the team itself. Like, you've made the good job, you've made the correct call of taking him with you to Australia. Now that the situation has presented itself, it is important he gets the cap, irrespective of whether he does well or not. I mean, performance is second. You can't really blame him. Australia mein pehli baar nahi, India ke liye pehli baar khel rahe. So it won't be easy, but I would still want India to back him.
See,
I think that's
just
next.
stepping in here. Sorry, Avnish. Sorry. I'm extremely sorry. A couple of things I wanted to say on the show before it slips out of my mind. I'm quite forgetful that way. One, with Nitish, these all-rounders, the batting all-rounders, you call them, at different levels of their cricket, each different skills will precede. Like, for example, for Nitish, if you see when he was playing Ranji Trophy, more as a bowling all-rounder. He doesn't have too many runs in Ranji Trophy. But when he came to T20, he became a batting all-rounder, batting at number 4 and then doing his little bit with the ball. But apparently now in Perth, he's more, again, when it comes to red ball, both in the A series and now in Perth, apparently he's bowling really well. He's bowling really well. So again, it's going to be a bowling all-rounder. So different formats, different levels, their primary skill, swap around for these cricketers. It happens when you play multi-formats. That is one. Two, Devdutt Padikkal made his test debut earlier this year and scored a 50, if I'm not mistaken. So it won't be too harsh to leave out Abhimanyu for Padikkal, because he's been there, he's done that, he's made his debut. I think in Dharamshala, I think he made his debut, got some runs, looked good. So it won't be too harsh. Having said what I said, and Padikkal would have a little bit of an advantage. But Karthik is saying, I think it'll be really sad if Abhi doesn't get a game.
Yeah, I mean, like Akshay said as well, it's the choice that these guys make, and not because of any recent form, but just because he's toiled so hard in the domestic setup, and it's a perfect way to, of course, just give the future youngsters a shot, thriving in the Ranji, and then, of course, making that test transition. You have a fascinating book, Sridhar sir. Akshay read it. I think I went through it as well. And some of the points you mentioned in terms of the subtleties in test cricket, right? For example, who feels it's short leg? And how do they kind of put comfort feeling behind them when they come from the Ranji teams? And right now you saw Sarfraz being not just a good short leg fielder, but an effervescent one, if I say as well. How do you kind of tell the newbies in the team, sir? Now you look at the Perth test as well, and that's an important position in a ground like that. How do you kind of address it to someone who's going to probably feel that for the first time in their life?
Dhruv Jurel. It's going to feel there if at all you could have one. I'll tell you now. Unless you're having only two slips and you don't have a gully, then you would probably put Yashasvi there. But I think gully is a very important position in Australia, so I would believe that Yashasvi would be manning that position throughout the series. So you're left with Jurel to field at short leg because Rahul and Virat will be at slip. And in case you want to have a three slip and a gully, then your third slip will be either Padikkal, who's good, or Abhimanyu. Or if Abhimanyu plays, then Dhuru Jurel will go to third slip and Abhi will come to short leg. So this looks most likely thing to happen to me. Australia में उतना difficult नहीं है close in fielding because you have time, because you're not standing too much up front. In Perth, on day one, the pitch will be slow. On day one, because of the amount of water they will give, because for the pitch to last for 4.5 days, day one, it will be slow. So always, if you see, Australia will win the toss and bat first. And on day two and day three, the pitch gets faster. So India win toss, bat first. It's a no-brainer. Unless you're playing two spinners, like we did in Melbourne in 2021, and bring in Ashwin in the sixth over, who's got enough skill sets to run through your top two or three, because Australian top order is what? Labuschagne 3, Smith 4, I would say Travis at 5, who's coming after a long paternity leave, Mitch Marsh at 6, who's also coming after a long paternity leave. So unless you do that, but it'll take some guts to do that, to play Ashwin and Jadeja in Perth. So win toss, bat first day batting easy, put 320 on board, and then watch the fun.
Sorry, before anyone chips in, आप no-brainer कह रहे हो Sridhar sir, but we saw what happened just a month and a half ago, where it seemed like a no-brainer to us in Bangalore. Ki haan, of course, win the toss, you both first, but we not see that happening. Let's just hope that we've learned from it. We, like Avnish likes to say, we win some, we learn some. I just hope India has also learned from what happened in the last month. But yeah, sorry, Avnish.
Yeah, indeed. I love the fact that Shlok Barge in the comments has already started a hashtag called Ask Sridhar Sir, and there's some fantastic questions coming through. So we'll save that for the last 5-7 minutes of Sridhar Sir's time with us. Just want to, of course, take a stroll down memory lane, like I said at the top of the show right now, sir, because you were not part of one, but two. And I'm not going to ask you which one you like the most and all of that. But how is Australia? Just traveling with that Indian contingent right now, of course, we've seen the hype in their newspapers about Virat Kohli, so on and so forth. When you land in Australia as Team India, do you already see it as you're playing against the whole nation? Everyone's going to banter you. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, mate, we're going to take you down, so on and so forth. Is it that evident in that country more than anything else in the world?
It is. I'll tell you incidents. When you land in Australia, they'll pick out your main player, and first thing they'll catch you is in the customs. They'll say your shoes are dirty. Please open your suitcase. Why are you carrying this stuff? So there itself, they will establish, there is some dirt on your shoot, man. Oh, you're carrying some walnuts, man. Not allowed in your country. Please open your bag. So they will act as if they don't know you, and they'll start harassing you right from there. And we've seen that. And outside the hotel, there'll be cameras placed, and they'll be following you everywhere. And at every point in time, whomever you meet, they will, like you said rightly, they will let you know that you're going to lose the series, and they will this guerrilla warfare. They will try and do everything within their capacity to make the team uncomfortable. I can tell you an incident in that COVID series, 21 series in Sydney on day 5 when we entered the ground. One of the local guys came and asked us. I mean, we were one down. We had 9 wickets to go. We had to bat the entire day. He said, "So, do you want us to have your lunch at the ground, or do you want it packed to the hotel?" I said, "Thank you very much." Only time will tell that, stuff like that. And after we quarantined, I remember very well in the same early before that, they said once you do a 14-day quarantine, then you're free like every other Australian. Australia was open at that time. You're free to go anywhere. You will have the rights of every other Australian citizen. But the minute the 14 days got over, they put us in buses, huge buses of 4 in or 6 in each bus, and gave us a big sheet of 50 rules, like what we shouldn't do. Ravi Shastri just tore the whole thing down like this, and just threw it on the commissioner's face. We are not going to do any of this shit. So in Australia, you got to give it to them, even before they give.
I was thinking, sorry to interrupt, because like you, of course, had Ravi and Virat in grabbing the bulls by its horn, so to speak. But now they have Gambhir over there. Do you think the Australians can get under his skin quite more easily, if I say?
Gambhir is quite a fierce competitor as well. So I like that. I like that part. He's quite a fierce competitor. He's not going to buckle down. He's not going to take a step back at any point. I think him and Ricky have already got going, I guess. So that's good fun. But yeah, he's not going to take a step back. And so that will be good for the team. That will be really good for the team, because that's what you need in Australia. You got to give it to them before they start. So that's very, 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 very important in Australia. वो लोग देने के बाद वापस देने में मजा नहीं. वो लोग देने के पहले हम उनको देना शुरू करना चाहिए. Be 3-0 ahead. That is the best way, and then play good cricket. And then you play good cricket. But you got to have them on the back foot from ball one. When you land there, you got to have them on the back foot.
The funny thing is, even if we're 3-0 ahead this time, we don't even know if we're going to make the WTC final, because we have to probably win 4-0 or 4-1 or whatever the combinations are. Akshay, next come in here, because I was going to ask Sir how much fielding plays a super role in terms of this time around, because the last time around people put it to, of course, various factors like Pujara, Kohli's brilliance with the bat, the bowlers, of course, and how even the great squad depth we had in that 2021 series. What are your questions tonight, Akshay, for Sridhar, sir, heading into this BGT?
I mean, more from, just stepping back from the BGT itself, of course, I know Nikhil Bhai will also be asking about it. One sort of topic or a bone of contention that's come up recently is the fact, about the whole way the selection process is happening. And like we discussed briefly earlier, in terms of, Abhimanyu Ishwaran ka naam humne liya, like Ranji Trophy mein jo acha karte hain. How do you look at the whole structure and the way it's panning out? I'll just take a few examples and the reason why I'm asking you. Like, for example, a name like Ruturaj Gaikwad, who's not necessarily done too bad at the Ranji Trophy level, but you can't really say he's done good enough to warrant, a seat at the India squad and all of that. How do you look at the way this discussion is panning out? Because right now, aisa lagne laga that the pathway to the Indian Test side is pehle IPL mein acha kar lo, then you get into the India side, then you do well, then you can actually get into the red ball side of things as well, and not necessarily ki Ranji Trophy mein acha karke aap aage ja sakte ho. Do you think that is that the case? And if so, do you think that's the right way of looking at it?
I don't think you should look at it that way. Ranji Trophy is very, very important. I would say at this point in time, Ranji Trophy is the most grueling domestic cricket tournament in the world. You may say, yes, counties split into two halves. They got a lot of white ball in between, and then you play at the back end. I get the fact that early doors it could be difficult to play county cricket. April, May, they start as early as 11th. But just the challenge of travel and playing at venues where it's not great, where you want to take cricket deep down into the rural areas of the country. Ranji Trophy is very grueling. So I think someone does well in Ranji Trophy, you got to give them that credit, and you got to reward them with places, spots in Dilip Trophy, with spots in Irani Trophy, and then A tours, and get them. So yes, IPL I always say is the Harvard of cricket. I've said that to Avanish before. To me, IPL is the Harvard of cricket. It's a finishing school, but not before two good years in the Ranji Trophy, 2 back-to-back good years, because the first year is always easy, the second season always the difficult one, but 2 back-to-back good years, and then you know what metal you're made of, what's the fabric you're made of. So that's very, very important. So Ranji Trophy performances have to be rewarded, because it is one hell of a cricket tournament in the world. To me, it's the biggest challenge as a player, as anybody, as support staff. Just as BCCI to pull it off every year, massive. Ranji Trophy is massive. So we cannot undermine Ranji Trophy by any stretch. But that's a magnificent cricket tournament, and performances in that should be rewarded. Like Mahipal Romero is getting a 100. I'm sure he'll go well in the IPL because he just smashed a 100. So I mean, Ranji Trophy massive to me. Yes, IPL, like I said, is Harvard. It's a finishing school. It readies you for the grinds of international cricket. So good Ranji Trophy performances consistently, like Abhimanyu Ishwaran. He came with us to England in 2021. He was in the squad when Shubman Gill got a shin shin stress fracture and went away from the team after the WTC final. Abhimanyu was in the squad for 5 test matches. Yeah, it's a different matter that we played only 4 and came back. But yeah, he was in the squad.
Yeah, Ranji Trophy is super pivotal. Even though we watched it kind of lose its sheen, some would say, over the years, I think the rewards it gives you as a cricketer is just fantastic. I just hope it's more appealing to the modern day fan, like how the 90s kids and 2000 kids grew up watching it. Next, over to you, and then a whole host of community questions because they're absolutely barking at us in the comments. So what do you have for Sridhar sir tonight, Nikhil?
Yeah, so one that definitely involves him and him being part of the team. So we saw in the last 2 tours to Australia how, it was the youngsters who came in and immediately performed. Whether you talk about Mayank Agarwal coming in and scoring twin 70s, you have Gill coming in doing well, Natarajan. Now, that doesn't mean everybody will always come in and do well. But do you feel Australia is a place where the hunger to perform, and that is something that I think this team now currently will be itching, that there is a lot at stake for everybody, even the seniors. So do you think for this time, for this tour around, the motivation will be there for someone like a Rohit and Virat to really put in a massive show that, we've been hurt at home, and this is a place where we've won 2 series, and we've been shown in the past how, Pujara has set the game for us with equal contributions from everybody involved. And you were there at the part of the session. So do you think it is a natural place for people to just feel more motivated to come good? And will that work in both Rohit and Virat's favor?
So I'll answer your question one by one, but in case I'm missing out any one of the questions, do remind me.
Sure.
Okay. First thing, Australia is a batting country. Batters love it. It's just once you get the hang of the bounce, you can hit shots 360 degrees without much worry. Square of the wicket, you can pummel the ball down the ground. You can hook, cut, pull. You can sweep to glory. So you can just do what you want. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely batting country. Australia can get very bright at times. It's not easy on the eye like it is in England. England, the best light for batting. It's nice. It's 25 degrees with clouds. It's a lovely light for batting. But Australia can get too bright. India can get too hazy for batting, but Australia too bright. That sometimes would be a challenge for batters. Current day batters being stroke makers, I'm sure would enjoy batting in Australia. They need just to get acclimatized to what the surface offers. That is one. And obviously, Aussie bowlers, the experienced 4 bowlers who almost played 1,000 tests between them are going to be not 1,000, maybe 400. I'm just kidding. Relentless. Are going to be relentlessly coming at you. The key for us to do well is not allow Nathan Lyon to bowl big spells. You got to go after Nathan Lyon so that the fast bowlers come back and bowl their second, third, and fourth spells without taking too much rest. But if you allow Nathan Lyon to keep bowling from one end, then the fast bowlers are happily going to rotate and come and bowl one spell each session. But if you go after Nathan Lyon like Rishabh Pant does, then he's not going to bowl from one end. He's not going to, like bottle up one end. Then your Hazelwoods and Starks will end up bowling 24, 23 overs in a day. And that is what you want. So that even if they do well in the first test, second, third, fourth test, they'll be tired. That's what happened in Brisbane, right? That's what we made them do. So that series, let me be a little philosophical. God was sitting in our dressing room, don't worry. Because with so many injuries, so many players leaving, God said, come on, let me be on your side. Come on, let us take you through. And some of the players showed great character. That series is one, not even one for the legends. You'll see more. There's so much to it. There's so many fibers to it. There's so many layers. As we keep writing books and making TV serials about it, so many layers keep coming up. And every day, so many things happen. Each perspective is different. So that was something very, very special. And like I said, I would like to believe that God was sitting in our change room and traveling in our team bus all through to navigate us through the challenges that we had in that series. They were extremely, extremely difficult challenges that we faced as a team during that series. But yeah, that was that. And we had Pant doing Pant things in that series as well. And who can forget what Pujara did? I mean, between the 2 series, he scored around 2,300 runs. I don't know how many runs he scored, about 1,000 odd runs. He played around 2,500 balls. He spent around 2-3 years on the crease in that series. No, the Aussie bowlers had enough of him. They just couldn't see him anymore. So now Pujara is going to be in the com box, and that will make the Aussie bowlers smile for a bit.
Yeah, he was just a rock, absolute sponge absorbing all the pressure out there. But great question from Nix and Akshay. Now I'm going to put all three of you all under the spot here in terms of a small game called BGT Agree or Disagree. So I'm going to read out a statement. You guys have to simply say agree or disagree, okay, depending on what you guys choose. So let's go. Statement number one: Virat Kohli will score more runs than Steve Smith in the BGT. Agree or disagree? All three of y'all. Sridhar sir first, then Nix and Akshay. Agree. Nikhil.
I want to say something, because if we use the same plan to Smith, like we did last time, take out the offside. Take out the offside. Just bowl on middle and leg. Have the field. We got him caught at slip. We had his leg stump. We got him. Bumrah got him bowled in Melbourne, I think, where he knocked off his leg bail. And Shami, the way he started with 4 runs of 9 overs to him at Adelaide. Keep Smith quiet. Take the outside off, and then Virat will obviously. Virat is winning the battle.
Okay, super. Question number 2, or statement number 2 rather. Nathan Lyon will be the leading wicket taker this series. Agree or disagree?
No. I'll say disagree.
Okay, so all of you guys disagreeing. So give me one shout out. Who's your leading wicket taker of the series?
I'll say Hazelwood. I mean, I just think he'll really be a menace for India to handle. But yeah, I'll go with Hazelwood.
Okay, next.
I'll go with Cummins. I think he'll play more Test. Josh might be rotated for Scott Ball, and we don't know that. So I'll go with Cummins again. The Cummins he's had the knack of taking key wickets and taking them in bunches also. We saw that in the last 2 years. So Cummins for me.
Yeah,
I'll go with Bumrah.
Bumrah. Okay, love that. Same, even I was going to go Bumrah. So Bumrah as well for me. Third statement: Pat Cummins will score a Test century in this BGT. Disagree or agree?
Genuinely, hopingly not.
No chance.
Enough of
it.
No chance.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Gambhir will lose his cool in one of the press conferences on the tour. Agree or disagree?
You won't.
I want to agree for content, but I hope not.
Yeah, that's the dilemma, right? Because from a content POV, it'll make for great content, but
he may lose his cool. One of India's press one from the Indian press contingent.
That's true. That I agree. Yes.
Okay, so sir, what do you agree or disagree on that?
I disagree. I think he's a smart.
He'll be calm.
Yeah.
He'll be calm. Okay, fine. Last 2 then. India will win a hat-trick of BGT this time around as well. Agree or disagree?
You'd want it to happen. So
looks difficult. I don't want to.
Heart and mind.
Difficult to answer this. India, I want from my heart. Yes, I want India. Yeah. You want
okay, they're all
pessimistic.
Okay, Akshay, what were you saying?
No, I'll just judge the line of pessimism and say, unfortunately, not as much as I want to see them do that. But yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But yeah, I'll just say disagree for now.
Okay, and finally, will we see anyone from either Australia or India hang up their boots in the Test format after the series? Agree or disagree?
It's got to be. I don't think Smith is going to leave. And I don't think anyone from Indian team will be quitting till that England series. So I disagree.
Disagree. I agree with that England point. So disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Scoreline prediction, boys, just to vindicate and please our audience. Greg saying 2-2. He's gone first. Sridhar sir, you can go last in this one. I said 4-0 India. Come on. Akshay, what are you going for?
I've been very pessimistic for the last couple of weeks. I just hope jo reverse jinxing IPL ke time pe chala tha, I just hope that it works out once again. So I'll stick to it. I'll say 3-1 in Australia's favor. It won't be easy for India, so I'll say 3-1 in Australia's favor and 1 draw.
Okay. 4-0 for Oz, saying Santosh Yodappa. Absolute traitor. that he is. What about you, Nix? What do you feel?
Yeah, I think it'll be 3-2. And if Virat and Rohit can come at the right side, then hopefully 3 for India. But that's a big
Okay.
if.
Love it. Alan James saying 3-1. Sarthak saying 4-0 Oz. But reality goes on to say 5-0. I think there's a McGrath guy in disguise, I'm guessing. What about you, Sridhar sir? I know you've been asked this question various platforms, but what have you been sticking with?
I've been saying if India can go to Brisbane 1-all, that will be a great series there on. India should go to Brisbane 1-all. So you either win in Perth or you win the pink ball test. If India can go to Brisbane 1-all, after that it's anybody's series. After that, and the Australian bowling attack can get tired, stuff. So let's take the first part of the fight test. Let's divide into two halves. Let's have Perth, Adelaide, and Brisbane as the first part. If India can get that to 2-1, then India is winning the series. But if India lose two out of the first three, then we are not winning the series.
Yeah, the way those guys have strategically made this tour also, because Perth obviously is going to be tough. Then you had that day and night test match in Adelaide, which obviously doesn't bode well because we've not played a day and night test in a while, and that 36 all-out nightmares. Brisbane's always tough to go there, even though we pulled it off the last time. And then Melbourne, relatively good success there. But Sydney, apparently there's a washout presumed, so who knows what is in store. But we've had an excellent first 30 minutes of the show. So keep it coming, keep the likes going. And if you guys have any questions for Sridhar sir, ask them right now. I'll take all of them as we speak. Look, no hard and fast rule of who sent them first. I'll just see the ones and I'll throw them through. Ramna Kiran asking you, sir, who are Sridhar sir's favorite split fielders and ground fielders, one of each all time?
My favorite ground fielder, of course, is Ravindra Singh Jadeja. He's the greatest of all time when it comes to outfield and ground fielding. The good question, who's my favorite slip fielder? I think I will go with Rahul Dravid.
Yes, I knew you'd say that. Brilliant. Love it.
Great.
Parth saying, Sridhar sir, your thoughts on T. Dilip. And remember, like, would you have done this whole new fielding thing in the whole medal? Was it your actual idea?
I think you have to give credit to Dilip for that. I think he did it. He spoke to me about it during the Asia Cup, before the World Cup, during the Asia Cup in Sri Lanka. And it was a great idea from Dilip. I really appreciate him for that. And then I think that got him a lot of accolades, and it got the team together during many of the tournaments. It got the players fired up on the field. The overall standards of Indian fielding increased. So that was a master stroke from Dilip, and full credit to that. Now he's become an internet sensation. That's what I call him. मैं बोला तो fielding मार रहा कि नहीं कि sensation तो हो गया internationally. So I keep winding up. But Dilip is doing a fabulous job, and he does his job very quietly, diligently. He's somebody who's open to feedback and is always seeking out what is that he can do better. It's a great trait to have, despite coaching at the highest level. So yeah, I'm very happy for him, and he's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, he's, of course, had big shoes to fill, and he has been filling them all right. Abhishek Batur asking you, sir, what we saw in the recent New Zealand series, was it the passing of the baton from Sridhar to Washington Sundar? You know both them well. You're a Tamil Nadu man, your former statesman and your fellow statesman. Look, what's your take on this?
It's about, it's just the right time. So it's great idea from BCCI to get Washi play along with Ashwin. So there's no better place to groom a player than out in the middle. And if Washi is going to watch Ash from those close quarters as how he's operating, and the way Washi is bowling now, a lot of overspin, high point of release, revs on the ball. So he will learn a lot from Ash. And obviously, at some point, the baton has to be passed, and the process has started.
And this one is a similar one, because Ramanujan saying, hi, Sridhar sir, massive fan of your Kuti Story series and the thought process of it as well. Which venues do you think Ash will play, and will Ash play ahead of Sundar? He wishes so.
Ash should play in Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne.
Okay, super. Love
Big
that.
ball hai, but I still feel Ash should play Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney.
Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney. Okay. One more question we'll take, and then we'll, of course, let Sridhar sir go. I think there was one, from Alan James, who said, which player's progress were you happiest within your tenure with India in terms of fielding? Who was the most fun to work with?
The most fun to work with, obviously, was Virat Kohli. I mean, he was at his peak during my tenure from 2013-14 to 2021. It was the Virat Kohli, and it was a pleasure to work with him. Great fun, great intensity. I can see Tilak bringing some good intensity now, similar to Virat. And I would say the progress happiest I was with, I would say Chahal, Kedar Jadhav, and Kuldeep.
Interesting names there that you picked. But look, thank you so much for your time, Sridhar sir. You've been an absolute legend yet again to pop in our podcast. X Factor also had some good ones, and Ashutosh Bajpayee had a cheeky one as well. What do commentators actually mean when they say hide poor fielders? It's the obvious, man. This hiding poor fielders for a reason. Yeah, of course. And it'll be silly if me, at least Akshay, will absolutely throw anything he has at me if I don't ask you one word about the IPL auction, because we're all building up to that.
Exactly.
We've asked a lot of fans, which we'll hear from up and down the country later on in the show, about 3 questions, right? So I just want to ask you those as well, really quickly. Who is your dream pick for the auction? Who do you think will land the most money, according to you?
No brainer, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's everybody's guess, man. There's only one man who's going to break the glass ceiling and banks. Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant?
Next question, Amnisha, please. You only do the honor.
And which player do you not want to see, say, for example, RCB buy?
Which player I want to see RCB buy?
Don't want to see RCB buy.
For on RCB's behalf? Or
Yeah.
you're saying which player RCB should not buy?
Yeah.
Glenn Maxwell.
Okay, love it.
Ooh, interesting. But Avnish, I have one more question, right? You asked that, yeah.
Which is what?
Okay, I thought you had one more. I had one, sir. You said Rishabh Pant will, of course, be the most expensive player. Which team do you see him going to? Is that also no-brainer? Because I think it's a no-brainer in my head.
I just wear a red shirt and come.
Sir, no, done. Got it. That's enough.
Super. Thank you so much.
This is Preeti Zinta on that day.
Exactly.
She'll have, honestly, that paddle up throughout. Like I said, Sridhar, so you've been an absolute legend, and enjoy all the stuff that you're going to do in terms of commentary. Early hours for all of us here watching the Australian series, but it'll be one hell of a watch, and we appreciate your time on this Monday Night Live.
Thank you, Avnish. Thank you, everyone.
Sir.
Thank you, team. Lovely talking to you guys again. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Take
Thanks
care.
for wonderful questions to everyone. Sorry we couldn't take all the questions, but I saw some lovely comments. Thank you so much.
I know. For sure. There's so many more which is creeping through. We apologize. Cheers. Well done.
Yeah.
See you. Super. What a man. Like, I absolutely love interacting with him, whether it's in person or not. But we got Sridhar sir for you guys again, and we had to because the BGT and all of that was up and about. We have another guest waiting on the wings in just a bit. We'll get him on, but just want to ask you guys to wrap up your BGT thoughts, because, of course, all the rest of the focus will be the IPL auction going ahead in this MNL and, of course, the week on from here. So I have a couple of hot takes which I've also prepared, okay? 3 ones which I want to give you guys. And you guys can debate on it or not, but I just want your quick thoughts on this. So, hot take number 1 for the Border Gavaskar Trophy, Nicks and Akshay. Would you rather have Pat Cummins in your test team or Jasprit Bumrah? Think about it. I'm talking about what they offer as a whole, as a package. We're talking about Cummins is, of course, a good batter as well, and Bumrah is, of course, great. So, would you still have Bumrah, or would you give a little bit of shout to Cummins?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I love Bumrah. I'll start off with that. I love Bumrah, but yeah, if it's red ball cricket, I'll have to go with Cummins. Like, the package he offers is too good for me, at least.
Next.
No, I'll stick with Bumrah. If I call him one Bumrah, then I can't be choosing anybody else over him. And again, I agree. Casing, yes, our guy and all of that, but I think the sheer skill that he brings to the table, it's one of a kind. So I love as much as I love Cummins, but I'll keep Bumrah with me.
Okay, super. Australia's current bowling attack is better than their 2005 bowling attack, the Ashes one.
अरे 5 का थोड़ा याद दिला यार. You must have seen it. अपन
McGrath, Lee, Gillespie, Kasparovich is their bowling, and then Shane Warne.
McGrath, Lee, who was the third pacer?
Gillespie.
Gillespie,
Kasparovich and
Kasparovich is like their bowling, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, there'll be a lot of fanboying involved because all of these were like childhood favorites of mine. I'll have to say 5. The 2005 bowling attack, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfair to actually compare because again we didn't see the game as much as madly as we do now.
Yeah.
So yeah, same.
Sorry, there was Sean Tate also there pointing out.
Lanka's nose was broken. I'm guessing this is that series where he broke. Yeah. Fair. But even then, I'll stick to 5. Yeah.
Okay, I would just give 5 because of Shane Warne. I mean, otherwise, I generally like the space battery of Hazelwood, Stark, and Cummins have been brilliant. Last one then for me. With regards to this series, right? Who is going to be the Pujara/Dravid for India? Many people are saying KL Rahul. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I don't think it'll be Rahul, and I've said this probably off air. I think if there's one batter who can potentially even come close to matching up to the likes of Pujara or Dravid when it comes to patience and the spending time, it is Jaiswal. I don't think anyone else has even shown that patience. This is for me personally. In this top 7, that's going to be turning Australia. He's the closest for me.
Okay, interesting. Fair enough. Next, you.
I'm genuinely hoping it is Virat Kohli. I want to see that side of him as well. So hopefully he can bat time and the others can score around him.
Yeah, man, I echo Nick's thoughts over there. Virat just coming and making this series his will be absolutely brilliant. Remember, a lot of stats, a lot of articles on cricket.com with regards to the Ranji Trophy. We're going to move the chat on to the IPL, but just before I do so, I have to, of course, show you a few numbers to whet the appetite further for the first test at Perth. We're not too far away. Ready for explosion is this one from Stats, man, and Rishabh Pant features in it. Now, there's a lot of it available on the app. So like I said, just go check it out in terms of batting averages, all the stuff that you want to know in terms of the BGT. Smith, of course, pipping Pant here, Hayden, Tendulkar in terms of the highest batting average. Then we take a look at fourth inning scores in BGT. You remember that 141 well, don't all of you all. But I remember even the 102 that Mark Taylor got in that third test. I think it was 1998. I was a 6-year-old boy, but I think I went for that series. And India started with 3 spinners in that one. But look, I'm rambling on here, but more great creatives like this. I honestly think if you guys don't follow us, what are you guys waiting for? Because the next 1 month or 2 months, it's just the perfect way to just get tucked into all of this stuff. And we'll, of course, be here on MNL to bring it for you. Right. So it is, of course, us now going to pander to the IPL bit of things because ultimately, it's going to be a big week. And I generally have told my whole team that it's World Cup final days on the 24th and 25th. Just to, of course, brief you all what we're going to do. We're going to have a watch along on both days. And that's going to be brilliant. You'll hear from Akshay and me. And then you'll, of course, get Nick's and Som's opinions in the night shows with Vikas over there. So there is absolutely everything that you want on those 2 days. We'll, of course, talk about the BGT Perth test. Even if the the test gets over early, we'll still do a live show on Tuesday. But those 2 days will be dominated with regards to the IPL. So, of course, feel free to join us in that watch along. We'll take all your comments. We'll react with y'all. I'm talking to K Singh, Greg, Ashutosh, all the Monday Night Live guys. Please join us that day. It'll be a brilliant, brilliant show. We did, of course, speak to fans, Akshay and Nikhil, up and down the country prior to the auction, asking them questions that we were kind of asking Sridhar sir as well. And here's what fans said when I asked them what their dream buy should be for their own teams. Listen in.
Hi, my name is Aryan and I'm a Punjab Kings fan. One dream player would be for me Yuzvendra Chahal. We've got 110 crores. We have been longing for a wicket-taking spinner. Who better than one of the league's highest?
The dream pick for CSK in this auction could be Rishabh Pant. We need an explosive middle order batsman. His fitment could be an issue considering he's looking for captaincy positions. But if somehow we can fit this man in the entire CSK gang, it would just be great.
My dream picks for Rajasthan Royals will be Trent Bolt and Yuzi Chahal. If they come back to Rajasthan Royals, then this will be something which will make all the fans happy.
I think dream player for LSG will be Josh Butler, as he will be the dream opening player for us.
My dream pick for Mumbai Indians this auction undoubtedly is Trent Bolt. We all know what he had done for the franchise back in 2020 when we had assembled the greatest T20 squad ever. He's just played 2 seasons for us, but he's given us countless memories. I feel he complements Jasprit Bumrah really well. The Thunder Boom, which we all call them, they were in action and they were pretty amazing.
Definitely, I'll go with Trent Bolt because he has some good kind of pace, good kind of length, and even he'll take some kind of wickets in power play. If you brought him to Chinnaswamy, definitely he's gonna show some football matches here.
A dream pick for KKR this auction for me would be someone who can fill 2 spots at the same time. My choices would be a safe bid such as Ishan Kishan or someone like KL Rahul who can be a captain and a wicket keeper at the same time.
Interesting to hear from all fans. Thanks to, of course, all those particular fans. We'll leave their links in the description below. Go give them a follow as well. And more from them in due course. I want to, of course, bleed in the guests tonight and ask Akshay and Nick's a huge host of things about the IPL auction list and all of that. Because, look, ultimately in this bit, we're going to be talking about, what is it? Where is the MNL show flow? IPL list and what it means. The day 1 auction picks, who could really catch eye that day, and of course day 2 auction picks. Some of the surprise omissions and inclusions in this list, who we were expected to see. For example, Cam Green doesn't make the list. We'll talk about all of that. How will the auction work? Akshay has done a stellar video on it, which he'll publish, I think, on Wednesday. So go get that out. And of course, our plan, which I've already elaborated on. Right. And not to forget auction predictions as well with Nikhil, Akshay, and the guest tonight. So of course, let's get the guest on tonight because here's a man who featured in Ravichandran Ashwin's auction not too long ago. And the smile tells it all. How was that experience, Anirudh? And welcome back to cricket.com's platform, cricket.com's MNL.
I can say that cricket.com is my home games and I can call Ashwin's channel my away games. So I'm back to my home. Good to be back. And yeah, I mean, it was great. See, I think a lot of us in the next 40, 45 minutes, 1 hour, will be talking a lot about hypotheses in terms of what could potentially happen. In the sense, we'd be predicting a lot of different things because we'd be having a perspective of our own. But then when you actually play as an auction, there's a completely different set of things which happen because the other teams around you would be looking for different things, whereas you could be looking for, multiple teams could be looking at the same set of skills, right? That's where the dynamics of an auction comes into play. And yeah, it was a great team. I represented KKR. My team represented KKR. It was a great team. And we got pretty good comments from Ashwin as well. And of course, it was great to meet him. So yeah, great experience. And of course, looking forward to speak all things IPL once again with all of you guys.
Okay, super. So the list is up. What caught your eye, guys, immediately? Sorry, Nick, you were saying something.
What caught my eye was him being very confident. No way Surya is going to stay with Mumbai, bro. So first comments on that. And then
I accept. I told the same thing to a couple of my friends as well. Probably they're watching as well. I was so sure that one of Surya, Bumrah, Hardik, one of them would leave. But yeah, I think there's only one guy who leads the country and he won again. So yeah, I fully accept my, you can call it L on Twitter. I completely take it. I know it. And yeah, I accept that it happened the way it did. And yeah.
Yeah, because normally when you've given us any information, we've taken it with a pinch of salt, but you've kind of been right more often than wrong. But look, we'll pardon you for this one.
I got the Hemang Badani one right.
You did. And you got, I think, one of Ashwin's guests right for his show. Mm-hmm. So that also kind of worked well for me personally, at least. By the way, the producer is shouting out from the back end saying, guys, we're 30 subscribers away from 98,000 on cricket.com's YouTube page. Please, if you guys are watching this on X, jump on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We've put in a lot of work and there's more fantastic content to come your way. So I know there's about 140 if you guys are already watching on YouTube. Like this video so it works with the algorithm. And then, of course, subscribe. Yeah, all you guys watch it, all you guys love it and listen to it every week. Just subscribe and press the bell icon. Right, Akshay, what caught your eye in the IPL 2025 auction list, especially the day one picks, bro? Because I'm already kind of eagerly waiting to do watch along. Butler initially, then Iyer, and talk to me about the rest of the names. So what stands out for you?
I mean, a couple of very interesting inclusions and exclusions in the marquee list. I was a tad bit surprised there. Miller making it to the marquee list ahead of Maxwell was a bit surprising, but that's sort of how, marquee lists work. If you guys remember how Hessin also spoke about during the episode, during our Unmind episode, that they expected Chahal to be a part of the marquee list, but him not coming in there played a massive role in RCB not being able to pick him. Expect something similar to happen this time around as well. Importantly, I think the fact that KL is not a part of the first list will reflect in his value. Iyer and Pant both are a part of M1, while Butler, Iyer, Pant, all three of them are a part of M1, while Rahul is slated to come in M2, and he's the only Indian keeper bat as part of that list. In fact, as things stand, he's the only Indian batter as part of that list. So that will it'll be interesting to see, because if Punjab, for example, exhaust their purse on Pant and Iyer, like either or, it'll mean that they wouldn't be able to bid for KL, and similarly, it'll work in different ways. So I'm excited to see how that pans out. But so far, in terms of how they've slotted in a few names, if we go further down as well, a lot of names are slated to come in on day two. When we say day two, day one, it's very simple. Based on how the previous two mega auctions has worked, the first 10 to 11 sets happen on day one, and after that, it's usually an accelerated round along with batter 2, batter 3, and stuff like that. If you go by that, Washington Sundar, Nitish Rana, Krunal Pandya, Deepak Chahar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, all of these names are slated to come in on day 2, which means that a lot of teams won't have a lot of money to spend on these players, which again would then mean these players would be available for cheaper than expected. So it's going to be very interesting. These positions play a massive role in how much money these players get. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that works out for teams.
Nix, what excites you in that M1 list, at least, those 6 names, Butler, Iyer, Pant, Rabada, Arshdeep, Mitchell Stark, because they're also going first, do you think teams have to really calculate, or do you think actually it's fine, they have the cash in the bank and it'll be a proper bidding war straight up when the auction starts?
I mean, at least for the first 3 names, you'll expect the bidding war. Again, assuming those 3 names are Butler, Shreyas and Rishabh, because again, these are the spots that people need. What I'm pleasantly surprised by is Rabada in M1. To be very honest with you, he's had an okay time in the IPL. So it is interesting if somebody goes for him very early, because you have to remember sometimes you don't pick them earlier and then to get them at the base price right at the back end. So would you want people to just hike the price for you if you want Rabada? Maybe not. You'd want give him a pass now and then get him in the absolute auction when people have exhausted that purse and they can't, to use the Hindi word, kumli with you. Just use him at the back end and get him for the right price. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. And even Chahal, again, second set, M2 that is, but a guy that I really think could get a lot, because he's always been around, right? World Cup jana, ye jana, wo jana. He's been the name that's always been around. So hopefully Arshdeep gets good price, and Chahal also, let's see where Chahal goes there.
Okay. Anil, I'll come to you in a bit. Just to reiterate viewers and audience, Akshay, day 1 and day 2, tell everyone how it works, even though the list is out right now and you just kind of shed light on M1, M2. How will they kind of push the playoff to day 2? So just throw a little light on that.
Yeah, so to be clear, on day 1, usually what happens is it's all the marquee sets. It's batter 1, batter 1, all-rounder 1, fast bowlers 1, spin bowlers 1, uncapped spinners, uncapped keepers. All the number 1, basically all the sets with the number 1 prefix are done on day 1. And then on day 2, they do batter 2, bowler 2, fast bowler. All the capped lists or capped sets are done. And then they start the accelerated round. They don't really wait for uncapped players, unless, of course, they have been able to do the auction at a faster pace. And knowing how IPL works, don't expect the auction also to run at a quick pace. So you will naturally expect all the cap sets to be done on day 2, and then they'll start the accelerated round. This is how it's worked in the last 2 mega auctions, and I don't see it changing this time as well. So to be clear, you can expect the first 11 sets to happen on day 1, and then on day 2, it will be batter 2, fast bowler 2, spin bowler 2, wicket keeper 2, all-rounder 2. These 5 sets will be done, and then from there they'll start the accelerated round where teams will be asked to submit a list of players they'd want to call back and stuff like that.
Yeah, Anirudh, you wanted to say something, sorry, before I get to you.
So I mean, it again depends on the time, but what I read was till player 117 is what they're gonna auction, and that will be done by day 1. Of course, as Akshay said, in case the time does, I mean, they're starting India time 3 p.m, right? So if it does cross say 11:30, I don't think they'll continue beyond that. So I think their aim is to finish 117 players on day 1, and then at the end of that particular day, all of the teams should submit the names they'd want to get auctioned in the next on the next day for the accelerated set. Of course, there are many big names who are post 117 also. For example, Will Jack stood out for me as 160 odd. So there are a lot of great, really good players post the 117 as well. But the aim, apparently, what I read was 117. But again, as Akshay said, it's entirely possible that they could struggle to auction off those many players, and especially in the start, because teams would be taking their times with the big names and the big players initially.
Yeah, I mean, there was few other names which caught my eye. Sorry, what did you say?
Sorry, especially with the new RTM rule, you can expect players or teams to be taking even more time, because now teams will have to recalculate their bids and stuff like that. So I'm expecting a lot more time being consumed. But yeah, sorry, Avnish, you were saying. Yeah,
indeed. AJ Ragnarok saying we need a fair warning counter during these auctions. Watch along, indeed, for sure. Watch it at a slightly lower decibel level. Hilda, good to see you in the chat. One thing is sure is that after his first set, Punjab is going to reduce if they go for Pant and Rajdeep significantly to game on for second set. And can you tell me where I can find the entire list? I think cricket.com has it. We've already put it in our article, I think. Go check that out. Omkar Salvi asked me new bowling coach saying Malav Howzzaat. Thank you for that information. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Sanjay saying, but if Stark/Rabada come before the big boys, it will be interesting to see how much aggressively teams go for them. I think Nick's made that point in his opening remark. Just a basic question: how's Pant in M1 not on the wicketkeepers list? Will he not keep next season? How does it work? I think Pant has been chosen in that batter thing, right? Like you said, Akshay.
It's subjective. So marquee lists are subjective. BCCI takes the call. BCCI or the IPL Governing Council, I'm not sure who the panel that decides this list is, but there's a panel that sits on this, and marquee lists are very subjective. It's based on player performance, how good were they, how important do they think they are to the IPL scheme of things. I'm pretty sure certain things like brand value and all of that is also considered. Rishabh Pant is a huge name, so they can't wait for Rishabh Pant to come 30-40 minutes later wicket keeper set. They'd want him to be at the top so that they can bait people to watch the auction, of course.
By the way, how many Akshay's, Nikhil's, and Anirudhs are there in the IPL auction list? Does any cricketer have you guys' first name?
I think there's one Anirudh, if I'm not wrong.
There's Anirudh, Delhi wala, Delhi ka jo, the pacer from who played for West Delhi Lions. There's Anirudh Kumar Chaudhary. So itna to pata. He's on the.
Is there any Nikhil?
I'm sure.
Nikhil, I'm still just cross-checking if I can see.
I think there's a Nikhil Chaudhary.
Because there are two Avnishes. Avnish
I saw that. I saw
Avnish Sudha, who's an uncapped batter.
I saw the Aravelli, of course, the guy who played for CSK last year. But the other one, who was he?
Avnish Sudha.
Okay.
Oh, Avnish Sudha, yeah. Batter who plays for Uttarakhand.
Yeah, correct. But so, look, I mean, day 1, day 2 will be equally compelling, because even if you look at, say, the set 2 batters, like Akshay mentioned, you have your likes of your Faf du Plessis and the likes of them, which will be really interesting if teams go for them. Let's ask the boys then a few questions. But before that, I just want, of course, the fans to feature again, because I asked them which player their club shouldn't sign or franchise. You'll be shocked with some of their responses.
One player I don't want to see back in the Punjab Kings is Glenn Maxwell. I think he was a one-time investment, and I think that gave its returns. He still has the talent, but I think for us at Punjab Kings, it's bye-bye Maxi for now.
One guy I never imagined to be a part of CSK is David Warner. I just don't think he fits in the entire CSK scenario. We are pretty chill, traditional, old gang, and I think David Warner has too much energy for CSK. So I just feel somehow we shouldn't go for David Warner anytime soon.
The player I have to choose to not be the part of Rajasthan Royals, then this will be someone like Jaydev Unadkar.
And one player I definitely don't want LSG to go for is Glenn Maxwell, as he hasn't performed in IPL well, and I think LSG might go for him.
We don't need in our team means like it's definitely Algeria Joseph, because last time we seen him with the ball, he did not do as per his worth, and even because of him we lost so many matches. So my pick was Algeria Joseph. Please don't buy him.
A player that I would not want to see at KKR this year would be someone like Shreyas Iyer, because I believe loyalty and greed don't go hand in hand.
Wow, incredible. And as soon as the in-house guest has seen those fan reactions, he's absolutely run away from the show. Or he's back on. I think we're probably just going to get him back on. Yeah, he is there. By the way, if you guys are loving our content, where is the frame? Get in there. This frame, yeah. Please like it and, of course, subscribe. There was another guy who was asking us where the other Anirudh Suresh is. Shout out to Hardik Vora, who's our colleague. He's getting married as we speak right now. A big love and, of course, hugs as well from the MNL crew. Hardik, sorry we couldn't make the wedding, but, of course, we're with you in spirit and heart and soul, or whatever you want to say. Right. More comments flooding through. Amit Kurai saying, would you like to see Evan Lewis? We'll take all of these in the 12th man section, indeed. And even Sanjay Papagiri has a good one over here. Where did you guys find this Kailash Khair? Who's Kailash Khair?
He looks like Kailash Khair. Arey, kya bol rahe ho?
On our platform.
No, the KKR fan that you got, he resembled Kailash Khair.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, the hate for Maxwell was pretty real. Even Sridhar was just like, not Maxi. I'm just like, no, why him? Like, it's ridiculous. So,
he's
guys,
done well with RCB, to be honest. Yaar, matlab, bichara.
It's so true. I just want to, of course, showcase a graphic right now in terms of all the IPL teams and what they need to do. And then you guys can have your say with regards to this particular depiction. Chennai, of course, will start with them. 55 crores they have. And they do have 2 RTM options, one capped or one uncapped player. Then you can see everyone's purse, clearly Punjab having the most of it, 110.5 crores. And they have 4 caps for their RTM as well. So it just makes you think how it's going to go about it. KKR and RR, those 2 teams, they cannot RTM any of their players because, of course, they've retained a whole host to them. Nick, I'll start with you here. What is, again, your expectations from these 10 teams now that we know this?
Yeah, hopefully less of inflated prices, but then that is something that you can't control. And you want the players also to get their dues. What I'm really looking forward to this year is, now a lot of these players have played pivotal roles for different franchises. Some of them have won, some of them haven't. But say somebody like a Venkatesh Iyer, a Nitish Rana. Now there are too many teams that need people like them. You know, a number 3, there is Rahul Tripathi in that mix as well. So quite a few of teams need crucial players to solve crucial spots for them. So now in an ideal world, you'd not think that they could go for more than 8-9 CR. But then if too many people want their number 3s and stuff, then auction dynamics is something that you can't control. So looking forward to see how that works out, that how the demand, if the supply doesn't meet the demand, then there will be things that teams will have to really figure on the go that, okay, if you don't get these 3 guys, who else is a potential number 3? So that will really make the auction very interesting.
Anirudh, then on to you, man. What could happen now that we know the purse, the RTMs, how teams can behave in past auctions and what history suggests? Do we already kind of know who's going to be having a bidding war straight up because we know the player list? So what's your gut feel? Do you think Punjab, again, they're just going to flex their muscle?
See, I think 2 things to consider here. So I think that was one of the questions where they said, what if Stark and Rabada come ahead of, say, Shreyas Iyer or Rishabh Pant? So that's the tricky part here, because teams obviously are saving up, especially for Rishabh Pant, and I think I'd expect at least 5 teams to go hard for him. I mean, hard meaning above the 17-18 crore mark. That's where the actual bidding, I think, for Rishabh will eventually start. So in that perspective, someone who is also a marquee player or a top player comes in ahead of a player you'd really want, or the entire set of teams want, then it'll be interesting to see what the price is. I think that's something we noticed in the previous auction. Say, for example, in 2018 auction, Shikhar Dhawan went for 5.2 crores, and he eventually wasn't happy with the price he got. But then I think the problem for him was back then, I think there were other marquee players who teams wanted, and Shikhar Dhawan at that point was not as fancied by the teams, and he ended up going for you'd say a slightly below market price value in terms of what exactly he wanted. So from that perspective, from that perspective, it'll be interesting to see how exactly teams plan out. In terms of the marquee sets in particular, I think again, as Akshay said, KL Rahul coming in marquee 2, there must be a logic behind that. I'm not exactly sure how the marquees are set out, but I think being in marquee 1, marquee 2 should not really affect a player's price that much, I feel, because quite simply because for Rishabh, I think for KL, if he had come before Rishabh, then I think he would have gone for really low because teams would be saving for Rishabh. But then there would be at least 3 or 4 teams who would have wanted Rishabh. Say, I mean, let's assume. I think it's fair to assume Pant should go to Punjab. If he does not go to Punjab, I don't know what Punjab are doing, to be honest. So if he does go to Punjab, you'd expect the likes of Delhi, the likes of KKR. Of course, I'm not going to include Lucknow in this. CSK and RCB, all who could potentially all try for Rishabh. They could again come into market for someone like KL, and same with Shreyas as well. Where the rumors are that Delhi Capitals are likely to sign him, but if he does come in ahead of a Pant, then it could be a slight disadvantage for him because again, the fact that Pant is the one who everyone wants. I think even Delhi themselves would probably RTM. I don't know if I can quote it, but a certain journalist who is very, very well known, it's from another platform, so not my source. So from another platform where he said that he wouldn't be surprised if Delhi actually RTM Pant because he says that Delhi want Pant the player, but the problem was Pant the captain, and that's where the whole scenario began. So from that perspective, again, you don't really know what happens in the auction, but I think the first 2 sets, I think that determines pretty much everything. Because, for example, like taking Arshdeep Singh's name, you know that Punjab want to RTM, right? But then if you're a team who wants Arshdeep, let's say at 14, 15, but then the moment it reaches 17, 18, would you really want to give 18 crores to Arshdeep? What if Punjab don't RTM? Then you're stuck in the muddle, right? Because Arshdeep is a great bowler, but to spend that much on a frontline Indian pacer at 18 crores, especially if you're one of the teams who have 40, 50, 60 crores, that would be a huge dent to your purse. So again, that will be a very, very interesting thing to look at. I understand Nikhil's reaction here. I'm just looking at teams who are in the 50, 60 because many of the teams are in the 50, 60. I'm looking at say a Mumbai Indians or a KKR. They can't spunk 18 crores on Arshdeep Singh, right? Because they'd be done with their auction. Then. So it'll be interesting to see. I think very hard to predict at this point of time, but yeah, of course, we'll see what happens.
I'm actually with Nikhil on that because with Arshdeep, here's my caveat, right? The fact that he's just pipped Chahal to be the highest ever wicket taker for India and T20 internationals, that could work well with him. He bowled an absolute peach of a spell in that final T20 international, which has come at the perfect time before this auction. And he's been working on his batting. So look, Arshdeep, man, hopefully you're watching this and you get about 18, 19 crores. Yeah, Akshay.
Yeah, but with Arshdeep, again, we need to understand how teams are looking at this. Arshdeep can create an impact only over 4 overs. Irrespective of how good he is, that's all he can do. He can't do beyond. And let's not count his batting, fielding. नहीं है भाई, वो batting के लिए कोई पैसे नहीं देगा, वो fielding के लिए कोई पैसे नहीं देगा. मार दिया एक छक्का, बढ़िया. That's just a bonus over and above it. There's a reason why when Chahal went for as low as he did, it's not that he isn't a good enough bowler. The fact of the matter is, unless you are a Bumrah, and Bumrah is probably the only bowler in that league. Unless you're Bumrah, you cannot get 18 crores. I'd be very surprised and I'd be very annoyed if any team actually bids 18 crores because there's no way on earth a bowler who can only create an impact over 4 overs is worth 18 crores. That's as simple as that.
Especially if it's a team outside RCB and Lucknow. Especially if it's a team
spoken like a true RCB supporter though. Fair, I agree.
No, it's not an RCB supporter. You can't spend 18 crores. There's a reason why no
I'm with Nikhil again on this. I'll tell you why, Akshay. I mean, not to state the cliche, bowlers winning championships. And Arshdeep, we've seen how he's been a great all-phase bowler. I mean, if you could spend 25 for Stark, who's obviously an overseas pro, and find Stark.
Look at all these bowling attacks that won championships. No one spent. SRH, take CSK, take anyone. KKR is an outlier in that, and again, there's a reason. Stark also did not do anything. They were lucky that he did come good for them in the knockout stages. Look at SRH when they did well. Look at CSK when they've done well.
When SRH when they did win, they were known for their bowling prowess.
No, I'm saying who was did they have expensive picks? All the bowlers they had was also
not always be the case, right? But that may not always be the case.
And plus,
again, I agree with the point that it takes out a lot of your purse. But again, it's a person who's going to be there with your franchise for over a long period of time. So
10 years.
Yeah, so it is massive return on investment. You can get enough out of it. And I agree with the point that by 50-60 hai, so then you can't burn out 18-20. So yes, that will always be there, which is why him coming in the marquee set is even crazier, because people will want him, and a lot of teams want Indian options. So he will get a high price. But yeah, if you ask me, I would have written him at 18 in my base team. But yeah, auction may 18 pe chhodna may end up being tricky.
And most over the Punjab angle and stuff. But look, that's Akshay's opinion and Nick's, and everyone has their own opinions. I think Sportsfan is agreeing with Akshay, which is fair. And we want you guys to build this community more. We're 30 away from 98K, yaar. Please subscribe karo abhi in whichever language you guys want us to speak, we'll speak. But look, 98K is a special milestone for us. Good to see GGMU enter the chat. Sukhveer saying we should write a match. Livingston, it'll be stupid not to. Amit Paban's entered the chat saying any player who can give you a differential of 4 points on their own is worth 15 crore plus, in his opinion. Lovely in terms of the boldness out there. Hope teams don't get disillusioned by price tags of 20 plus. Stark went for 24.75 in a mini auction, chalk and cheese. Again, great points to savor, and it just shows the knowledge of this community. Right, it's going to be a fun and game session right now in the next 5 minutes with these boys, because I have planned something or what. So I'm going to read out names, big names, which is going to go under the hammer this time around. All you guys have to say, right, is the team that you guys think that they will go to. No, yes, no, that quickly. We have to go through a lot of names. So I'll read out the names, and I'll start in alphabetical order. So let it be Akshay, Anirudh, and then Nix. Okay? And then we'll go in that order. So are you guys ready? Our IPL 2025 Mega Auction predictions, and it starts now. Jos Butler, Akshay. Where's he going?
KKR.
Okay. Anirudh?
Josh Butler, RCB.
Okay. Nix?
Gujarat.
Okay, super. Shreyas Iyer. Where's he going?
Delhi.
Anirudh?
Delhi.
Nix?
Delhi.
Wow.
Delhi.
Pant. Where's he going?
Punjab.
Anirudh?
You guys can just keep going. Don't wait. Anirudh, just keep going.
Punjab.
Yeah.
All right. Punjab, man. I mean, if not, I can't believe what they're doing.
And
Done.
Nix is
All
also.
three.
Yeah. Punjab. I said Punjab. Yeah.
Okay, man. Super. Rabada.
Punjab.
Lucknow Super Giants.
Mumbai Indians.
Okay. Arshdeep Singh.
Ooh. Arshdeep Singh. Okay, that's going to be tricky. I'll say Lucknow Super Giants.
Okay.
Punjab.
Punjab.
Okay. Mitchell Stark, lads.
Gujarat Titans.
Exactly. The team which bid 24.5 crores for him but lost to KKR last year. Gujarat Titans.
Lucknow.
Okay. Interesting. Yuzi Chahal.
Really tricky. There are a couple of sides. I'll say RCB.
Love it.
Homecoming. RCB it is.
Yeah, Bangalore. Agree.
Bangalore. I think even the sister agrees in the background. Chahal's coming to RCB. What about Liam Livingston, lads? Where's he going?
They would say RCB, but I feel Punjab will RTM him.
Okay,
Punjab
interesting.
again.
Punjab. What do
Yeah.
you guys think? Punjab are just going to go for 4 massive players in the first 5? 9 players.
Yeah. I think they'll just RTM.
I'm going for Pant, Arshdeep and Livingston for me personally.
110 crore लोगे 110 crore रखोगे तो चार बड़े प्लेयर तो लोगे ना.
Okay, all right. Player number 9, then we have 11 more to get on with. Miller.
Okay. Miller. I'll say back to Gujarat.
Interesting.
I mean, I wanted to say Gujarat, but I have a second choice which I think is pretty close because he plays for their South African franchise. I'm going Rajasthan Royals.
Wow, surprise there. KL Rahul, lads.
Nikhil didn't say where Miller is going.
I said
He said
Gujarat. RTM. Same.
Oh, okay, fine. All right.
KL Rahul.
यार बहुत. Given that I haven't yet chosen a keeper bat for RCB, I'll say RCB. I'm still creating a universe logically कि भाई अगर ये player है तो बस.
I'm going KKR.
I think Bangalore.
Okay, 2-1 there in terms of KL going to Bangalore. Love it. Mohammad Shami.
Man, Shami is actually going to be very difficult to predict because we don't know how teams are looking at him. Because वो fitness वाला angle भी है, so I just don't know. But
No explanations. The team.
yeah, Gujarat. I'll say Gujarat.
Yeah, Gujarat Titans.
Chennai Ajab.
Oh, love it. I mean, I thought Nix is going to say Gujarat as well. Then that would have been Shami and Stark from each end. Mohammad Siraj, the DSP.
I'll say Punjab.
Homecoming, but not what you think. He's going to go to Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah, I had the same name, but I'll go with Lucknow then. ठीक.
Okay, few more left then, lads. Faf du Plessis.
Delhi Capitals.
He comes really late, so he's one of the names which I'm really surprised. He comes around 85 or 86. I think CSK will just buy him back because I don't think RCB can keep him as a bench player. I don't think it works as a captain. Being a captain,
Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay, Aiden Markram.
I just get this inkling Mumbai Indians. They bid for him last time, so yeah.
He comes in batter one. He's going unsold in the first one. I don't know who picks him in. He'll get picked for sure eventually, but he's going unsold in the first set. He comes in bat one.
Delhi Capitals.
Okay, love it. Phil Salt.
Oh, bhai.
Easy for me. I'll go first Mumbai.
मैं सोच रहा हूँ
Because I have it ready.
ठीक है, I'll say
Delhi Capitals.
Yeah, I want to say Delhi Capitals. That was the name I was going to say, but they have Purell, and I also said that they're going for Faf du Plessis. So I know Phil Salt, Mumbai Indians.
Okay, Phil Salt again, Mumbai, according to Akshay. Next.
Yep.
I said Delhi.
Okay, fine. And next, who do you say?
I said Mumbai.
He said Mumbai as well.
Oh, you said Mumbai. All right, cool. Devin Conway then, lads.
CSK.
Back home?
CSK for sure. Yeah.
Okay. David Warner.
Unsold.
I genuinely hope he goes unsold.
Unsold in the first one, I don't know. Again, I can't predict what happens in the end because remember, Rajasthan Royals in the last mega auction, they picked 4 foreigners, tuck, in 4 minutes. So I don't know what happens in the end, but initially unsold.
Star and Geo.
Warner कहाँ?
Star and Geo.
I like the and more than the or these days.
Okay, last couple of names then. Glenn Maxwell.
So I have to use an or here. सस्ते में हुआ तो RCB our team. महंगा निकला तो I see him going to Punjab.
Okay.
CSK.
Lovely.
I'm torn between Punjab and Lucknow. I don't know who will go. So maybe one of them.
Okay, super. 2 names to end the list. Both Indian. Ishan Kishan.
Gujarat Titans.
Yeah, I had a similar feel. Don't go there. I'll go KKR.
मैंने Titans को एक कीपर बैटर दिया था शायद, but अगर नहीं दिया नहीं Titans को नहीं दिया. I'll say Ishan Kishan to Gujarat Titans.
Okay, super. And of course, to end proceedings, the man who, of course, had a mock auction on his channel, R. Ashwin. Where will he go, lads?
Want RCB to go for him, but I see CSK taking him home.
Okay.
It's actually between close one. I think it should be CSK, but I won't be surprised if Lucknow Super Giants go for him, but I still think CSK.
Yes, in CSK.
Okay, super. Great. It was a fun exercise that 20 players randomly picked out of the hat from me prior to the auction, just to hold ourselves hostages in terms of predictions. Later on, I'll bring these up in the watch along with Akshay, and he'll be like, Abe, you put me out of the gun.
सोचा नहीं है ना, off the top of our heads जो हमें मतलब
exactly. And yeah, this is not scripted. We did not have any clue of the order or the names. So
yeah, indeed. Okay, Anime has been saying this for the longest time. What about Naveen Ulak in CSK? Can be a great fit as Fizz. Fizz also comes later on in the auction, but he could go for some names as well. Vishnu, we enjoying the game, saying name more hosts name. More names hosts. What should we do? 5 more just to whet the appetite?
More than happy.
Okay, Glenn Phillips.
Okay, I'll actually say Lucknow Super Giants.
Okay.
RCB.
Ooh, I'll say Delhi Capitals.
Okay. Super. Rachin Ravindra.
Tricky, but I'll say CSK, RTM.
Between Punjab and Lucknow, I'd go Lucknow.
I hope it is CSK. Hopefully.
Okay. Interesting. Trent Bolt.
भाई एक तो मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है ये ट्रेंट बोल्ट पीआर कहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ है लाइक इन दैट द फैंस वाला four teams, 4 fans had Trent Bolt as their dream pick. I'm like, do you understand the meaning of what a dream pick is? I'm genuinely surprised. Good for him.
I realized I
Happy for
haven't. Yeah,
Trent
makes
Bolt.
sense. I
Trent
mean,
Bolt, guys. Come on. 3 more names.
I
and we'll
realized I
wrap up.
haven't given a single player to Mumbai, so I'll go Mumbai.
Same Mumbai
Okay,
Indians.
Bolt.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
I'll
3
say Mumbai.
Indian pacers. 3 Indian pacers. I want to wrap up and then we'll move on. Avesh Khan.
RCB.
KKR.
After his helmet drop and RCB.
Rajasthan.
KKR because I got him in the auction with Ashwin, so KKR.
Okay, fine. Prasidh Krishna.
RR.
Yeah, same. Again, RR. I think they'll have to buy back people.
Yeah, I mean, he'll come cheaper than some of the other names who they'd want, and they haven't got too much of a price, so RR. Dravid's there as well.
Okay, and finally, Teen Rajan, lads.
CSK, bro.
He is hoping RCB, but I actually think Delhi Capitals.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, fine. Cool. And
Probably
because Hill
Punjab.
in the comments, Marco Jansen or Janesen or Jan.
He also
Like
comes pretty
Ganesh.
late. He comes 90-95 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
he comes around the
exactly.
90
Marco
range.
Jansen,
So
Krunal
very
Pandya,
difficult to
Washington
say.
Football.
Sam
They're
Curran
all
as well.
about
Sam
Curran,
Curran
Nitish
comes pretty
Rana.
late.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
come in
it's
the
gonna
90s range.
It'll be an interesting time for sure. Finally, just to finish off with the fans, because we also asked them a bunch of other questions in terms of the dream buys and then the players that they don't want, but they also reckon who will be the most expensive player in this year's auction. Hear from the fans, and then we'll come back with more.
One player I think will go the most expensive is Rishabh Pant, just because he offers captaincy, left-handedness, and wicket-keeping option to all the teams. So it's gonna be a bidding war for him.
And I also think Rishabh Pant would be that one guy who will get away with the highest bid this season. So many teams are looking for a revamp to freshly start their entire team scenario, and I think this guy will attract a lot of attention and he will ensure there are a lot of money spinning on the table.
In my opinion, Rishabh Pant is going to be the highest paid player in this auction.
Rishabh Pant will receive the highest bid in the upcoming auction. We might see Pant and Ponting reunion in Punjab Kings.
The most expensive player, according to me, would be Rishabh Pant. He's a captaincy material. We all know that, and there are 2 to 3 teams who would be eyeing on him. Excellent batsman, a keeper par excellence. We all have seen how he can change the game within a few deliveries. He's been doing that all these years. Which team wouldn't love to have a leader like Rishabh Pant? So I feel he's gonna get a lot of bucks this season.
Definitely it will be a Rishabh Pant. If not Rishabh Pant, I guess Arshdeep will go.
The highest paid player this auction would be someone like a Rishabh Pant. I think Kings 11 will definitely go after him with such a high purse.
So Pant galore, including Kailash Kher over there. And I don't know why our editor, who's a massive Himesh fan, has put Kailash Kher at the end of that piece every time. But shout out to Vaibhav and shout out to all the fans who sent in those videos over the weekend to me. Shlok being cheeky saying, why was Somesh in an MI jersey? It wasn't Somesh, it was Vinesh, who's an ardent Mumbai fan. Everyone is saying, Pant, please pick one out of the box player who will go to the highest bid. For us, similar questions, lads. One player who will milk it in the IPL Mega Auction this time around. I'll go first, and I will say KL Rahul.
So you're saying highest, most expensive player?
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking for
KL
the most
Rahul,
expensive. So the question's a bit weird because I want to know whether you want to know most expensive player or a player who out of the box I think will go.
Most expensive.
Most expensive player according to you guys.
Rishabh. Rishabh, easy.
पंत no questions asked. अगर पंत नहीं हुआ तो भाई तुम सब डूब मरो मतलब जाके बस यही बोलूंगा.
Okay, and just for curiosity's sake, one overseas player who'll milk the most, is that Butler? Is that Curran? Is that Stark? Is that Omar Zai?
Three teams
God,
specifically need a wicketkeeper bat. KKR, RCB, Gujarat Titans. You could, of course, include the likes of Lucknow, the guys of Mani Punjab as well. But I think because of that specific requirement of potential leader as well for KKR, I won't be surprised if Butler becomes the most expensive foreign player.
Interesting. Interesting.
Like
Next.
Salt could be into the shot, but I don't know. Again, it's how people view at him might be different.
Okay. Malav Basar asking us if Nikhil will be joining us. He will be part of all the live shows going forward, including that one after the auction. Watch along. You can catch Nick's, and he will be, of course, sparing his heart out for that one. Akshay, I saw you were going to say something.
I actually think it'll be Liam Livingston because the two teams that would want him are the teams with the highest purse, so they will invariably end up betting a lot more for him. So.
Okay, let's see if Liam Livingston is
hopeful and confident that RCB want him.
Punjabi लेके जाएगा वो अलग बात है.
Get KL and Livingston for 40 crores, I'd be happy. Anyway, moving on and thanking our guest tonight because he's been fantastic. Tashin saying the same thing. Anirudh, bro, you did a very good job in the mock auction. And tonight, Anirudh, good luck in your auction watching. We'll, of course, I think, try to get you next week as well because it'll be a good one to get your thoughts post-auction. We're getting Dan Weston next MNL after the auction as well. And it'll be right after the auction or during it. So we'll probably do a watch-along MNL show of some sort, but we'll be there without a shadow of a doubt. Time to take some great fan questions and, of course, move on to Akshay's quiz. So I'll do that and say goodbye to Anirudh, and we'll see you soon, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers, well done. Super. Always fun to have that boy around because he does lend his expertise well. And again, thank you for his time. Tashin saying, guys, come live every day if you can. It's fun to see you guys. And I know that you guys are literally loving our live content, and we're doing it in two verticals right now with Hindi and English. Unfortunately, I only qualify for one, but both these boys qualify for one. So at least you guys can get them in abundance, but I'll try to give you my best in all the other post-produced pieces that we're having. Speaking of which, I've done an absolute fun vibe check Masti Wala interview with Mel Farrell. The last time, of course, I had Dosa with her at Airlines. It wasn't so flashy, but she was, of course, recording from her mum's garden, and it was very indicative of the Australian summer. So go check that piece out. It'll drop tomorrow at noon. And she had so many cool-ass Australian newspapers to show me. It comes out tomorrow, so it's all plastered with Virat Kohli and all of that. Right, we'll talk about the best of the rest really quickly and then move on to the quiz and your questions because it's already been 90 minutes of MNL this time around. Right, time to talk about the best of the rest. And what's caught our eye, we have to talk about the other Indian team in the other southern hemisphere, which is, of course, South Africa, and pocketing a series win there. Brilliant stuff from Arshdeep, from Sanju, from Tilak. It was just their series to remember. Guys, we were joking when we saw Akshay just doesn't want to talk about anything apart from the IPL. This is the problem. This is the problem with a man who just wants to be RCB-centric, just care about the auction, just do his little shows and goes away. Like,
just to quote himself, "Aajkal ke bacche."
Lockdown kid. Honestly, Akshay Kumar Swami. We'll get him back. I don't know where he's effed off, but look, good time to talk to you about the South Africa India T20 series. Forget the records. What did you like? Was it the obvious, Sanju and Arshdeep? Oh, he's back on.
That's
great.
Good. Yeah, I think 100% Sanju. We spoke about at length about how this series is important for him to continue to just try and cement his spot because it's a difficult role right at the top of the order, and the keeper has to come into the top three. We discussed he had a show as well discussing the probable 11th for India 2 years down the line. So I think for that purpose, yes, there were two ducks, which is bizarre. I don't think there will ever be a series where some duck and 100. So it just tells you how the game can give you back. Happy for him, but even happier for Tilak because we saw him in the emerging Asia Cup and he did not look at his fluent best. But the last knock in just to watch him go about his business so confidently. Very, very happy for him. And again, he's retained also with MI. So somebody who can play, he asked for the number 3 and delivered. There is nothing more that you can ask for a guy from that point of view there.
Akshay, did you manage to catch any of the action there? Because, I mean, it just shows how strong we are, bro. Every format, sure, but even in the T20 scheme of things, I'm pretty sure if we make 4 teams, they'll beat the likes of West Indies on a given day, or maybe even in South Africa. Do you think that?
You remember what happened the last time Hardik Pandya said that, right? Like, yeah,
I know he was tempting fate and all of that stuff, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, of course. The depth in talent pool, I don't think was ever questioned. Yeah, like India ka jo hai, wo pata hai apne ko. And in fact, we've always been of the opinion that India B is probably stronger than India A. When I say BA, I mean the second string is stronger than, the side that we usually end up sending to all these ICC tournaments. But yeah, it was very good to see Sanju Samson come good, because we've always been talking about कि यार उसको मौका दो, वो करेगा and किया नहीं था अब तक. He's finally managed to do that, 3 centuries in 5 innings, if I'm not wrong. So that's a fantastic performance from him there. But in terms of did I catch the series, I'll have to say no to that. जितना भी देखा थोड़ा बहुत निखिल भाई के साथ, शुभ के साथ वहाँ दिल्ली में देखा. फिर ऐसे ही, because my colleagues were covering the game, I happened to watch a bit of it. Wasn't actively trying to see anything. I was happy to see Marco Jansen do well. Again, a guy I rate. So it's good to see him do well. He's definitely added a couple of crores, if not more, to his kitties thanks to his performance in the series. Apart from that, yeah, did not really watch a lot.
Okay, fair. And Sportsfan has a good question to sum it up, or rather ask for a summation, because I think it was a bit of both. You look at that Indian batting order, and yes, you would say they're relatively new to their international careers, but they've still been such household names in the IPL. And now I feel if they've been under that pressure, they can go and thrive anywhere in the world. And that was visible with Tilak's knock, Sanju's twin hundreds as well, which is brilliant. And even people like Ramandeep getting a chance where he came through that emerging Asia Cup tournament as well. I was not really happy to not see the other guys involved. Vishak traveled as well. He didn't get the nod, but again, you could only play so many players at once. Let's move on and talk about other things happening, sticking in the Southern Hemisphere, because ultimately there's been quite a few series happening there. I'll talk about Pakistan, Australia next, because even though King Bobsy got some runs today, the fucking power play, and after that, it was shambolic, bro. It was 59 for 1, and after the power play, some 58 for 9 or something like that.
Yeah, and Rizwan eventually blamed the catching, for the loss, and not somebody who batted into that last 10 overs. But the good thing about that series for me was the pitches. Absolutely love having pitches with spice in it for the bowlers, because you saw how rough Haris Rauf bowled. I mean, good old Haris Rauf stuff from Haris, and rushing people for pace. It's always, again, when you're not facing, it's always good to watch it on TV. So, credit to Pakistan for always showing up with the ball. With the bat, plenty to ponder for them in terms of the T20 side of things. I think ODI cricket, they still did got the job done in time with enough people. But T20 cricket, the last 3 games, far from convincing. Even the names that they took and the kind of wickets and the shot selection, even today, you saw it wasn't a pitch that had a collapse like that. They had a great start, 70 odd for 1, and then to just collapse just like that randomly, giving Aaron Hardy 3 for and others. And Stoneys came in and had a fun out in the chase, hitting 6-12. So I think he also added a few crores to his purse. Lucknow may have a few things to say about that, but in terms of results, good for Pakistan to beat Australia in ODIs, but yeah, T20s, Australia were far better with the bat also.
Yeah, it sums up their white ball cricket state of affairs, so much so that they've now changed their coach again. Aqib Javed's become bowling coach for the white ball setup, or head coach rather, and he was chief selector like a week ago, so I think he's appointed himself as their white ball coach. Gillespie, I think, will be with the test team for that South Africa series, but again, Pakistan, little to choose from. The ODI series was good. T20 series, Usman Khan, maybe that one inning people are raving upon. Messi 10 randomly, if you're a new subscriber, please, I'm making sure that you've pressed that red button and subscribing right now. Surisai, great question. And I'll give all of this to Akshay and, of course, some to Nix as well in the 12th man. So just hold on for the next 5 to 10 minutes and we'll be done there. Sri Lanka, New Zealand, they're playing an ODI series. And I don't even know why, but Sri Lanka, again, a feather in the hat for Jayasurya. Yeah. So I mean, something he's done there, bro. I know Sana Jayasuriya is a man of great influence in the country. He's a politician and all of that stuff. But since he's taken over Akshay, he's done some jadugari, bro. Sana Jadugari Jayasuriya. Insane.
Yeah, I mean, pehle bhi bola hai, it's good to see Sri Lanka doing well. It's not something we've seen in the last 10 years or so. So अच्छा लगता है देख के कि अच्छा कर रहे हैं. But yeah, let us see. Hopefully, they are able to continue this sort of good run of form for the next 12 months at least. And देखते क्या होता है, especially with the Champions Trophy and them also being a part of it. It'll be interesting now कि how do they do there as well. क्या हुआ भाई? They weren't supposed to, but they didn't.
They're not qualified for the Champions Trophy, no.
8 teams में नहीं है क्या?
No, they're not.
कैसे?
तो हटाओ फिर, तो इसीलिए तो ODI बैन कर दो भाई. No,
No, because I was reading an article that I think it was an ESPN Cricket Info, and I think Andrew Fernando pulled out, and he said that they haven't qualified for that.
I thought West Indies, Zimbabwe, Ireland, okay. Bangladesh was the 4th team to miss out, is what I thought.
Yeah.
But maybe in that case, if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Then Bangladesh is a part of the the Champions Trophy and not Sri Lanka. Stand corrected on that. But yeah, good to see them do well. Apart from that, unfortunately, because the only takeaway for me from the series was that Glenn Phillips hasn't done well. So मैं वही बोल रहा था. I remember having a chat with Nikhil bhai कि यार Glenn Phillips, I just hope he doesn't do well in the T20I as well, so that he's too expensive. But भाई साहब इतना गंदा आ गया वहाँ पे, अभी मेरे को डर है कि अनसोल्ड ना जाए. इतना घटिया खेल के आ रहे, तो देखते क्या होता है वहाँ पे.
तेरी जबान बहुत चलती है, तो याद रखना थोड़ा कम बोला कर.
Oh my God, for sure. Finally, just to talk about a little women's cricket, because the WBBL is seeing two different fortunes for the Sydney sides. I think Thunder's going one way and the Sixers are going the others. Anything which has caught your eyes, boys, which is worthy to share to the viewers right now, the Women's Big Bash League, or absolutely zilch?
I mean, last time
we had a couple of
150.
She hit a back-to-back tons. First player to do that in the history of WBBL. So kudos to her. Absolutely magnificent batting from her. And Jami had a great knock just, I don't know, few hours ago, if you want to put it that way. And they've had a couple of good domestic performers, local batters coming through, and that is always good to see, because that's the entire point of the WBBL. So I have one of my favorite getting injured now, in Alisa Hilly, and she might miss the India ODIs as well. So that is also there. Baki, important to see how this shapes up, because there is a World Cup to come. So you have to keep an eye on who's doing what. And Melly Care, if you're not watching her play cricket, please don't waste your time. Watch her take wickets for fun. मतलब 3-4 तो ऐसे लेके जा रही जैसे कि कुछ है नहीं. You know the googly is coming, yet nobody is able to pick it. So God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah,
she's one to watch, man. She's honestly one to watch. She could light up the WPL this coming WPL rather very, very shortly as well. Right, time to head to Akshay's quiz. Before we do so, what is there to watch this week? All eyes on Friday. But of course, people would say Sunday and Monday is more important to me, lad. What are you talking about? Friday, go to the bin. We care about the IPL auction. Who said that to me? Oh, wait, it was Akshay in office saying, I don't care about BGT, bro. It's all about the IPL. Just joking, though, but plenty of cricketing action to check out, like I just showed you in that depiction. And let's, of course, move on to Akshay's quiz, who has a very, very good question for you guys this week. What do you have, Quizmaster, this Monday?
चलो first let's have last week's out. कहाँ पे अरे भाई साहब इतने सारे. हाँ, there we go. Again, last week's was simple. 8 नाम दिए थे आपको, 2 नाम missing थे. We just wanted you to identify who the missing names were. And of course, the missing names are Sneha Rana and S. Meghna. The funda being these are the only capped Indians who have been released from their sides. And S. Meghna, of course, another fun fact, S. Meghna is the only one amongst these players who have also been bought back. So let's see if Sneha Rana also follows suit and becomes the second player after S. Meghna to sort of be bought back after being released by his side. A lot of you got it right, but of course, only one lucky winner, and this time around it is Darshan Sethi. So congratulations on getting it right. Do DM us on our Twitter handle, and our social media team will do the rest. So congratulations on that. This time around, of course, a question that I'm also slightly proud of. काफी time लगा, but ठीक है. IPL auction का माहौल है भाई, तो उसी के ऊपर हमने सवाल भी किया. Only 3 players have had 6 teams bidding for them in the last mega auction. So 2022 के mega auction में, the 2022 mega auction had only 3 players see 6 teams raise the paddle for them. The most for any player. I want you guys to ID them. Again, I know it'll be tricky. Google नहीं कर सकते. For each bid, for each player that you get right, we'll give a voucher. So 3 names, you get 3 vouchers. I'll probably raise the stakes. तुम अगर तीनों players के 6 teams बता दोगे ना, I'm more than happy to double the count and give you 6 Amazon vouchers. So to be clear, okay, yeah. Avnish?
I was wondering if those male silhouette pictures were clues.
Exactly.
अरे मैंने नाम ही नहीं दिया किसी को. मैंने किसी को नाम ही नहीं दिया. क्लू कहाँ से है?
No, because it looked like a Kuldeep. It looked like a Kuldeep in the middle.
Looked like
yeah, it looked like, I don't know. The right to me looked like a Pooja Vasrakar from behind, and the left to me looked like a Deepthi.
Trust me, you know our graphic designer. He doesn't give a flying F about cricket. He wouldn't know. Even if I gave him the names, he wouldn't know who it is. So it isn't. To be clear, again, just to illustrate and illustrate it by an example, with an example, Virat Kohli, for example, if he was a part of the auction, 6 different teams at different times would have raised the paddle for him. Then he becomes a part of this list. That's it. So there were 3 players for whom 6 different teams raised the paddle in the 2022 mega auction, the most for any player. I want you guys to name me the 3 players. Each player gets you an Amazon voucher, and if you're able to name all the 6 IPL teams, then we'll double the count and give you 6 Amazon vouchers in total. So 6 vouchers up for grabs. We're feeling very generous today on the 18th of November. So let's see who gets it bang on. You guys have any guesses out of curiosity?
Sounds like a confident quiz master. I'll try to figure it out when I rewatch the show later and try to rack my brains about it. But good one for all the guys in the comments to think about. Remember, when the show is done, you guys can answer this. And who won the last week one? Was it Darshan?
Yes, it was Darshan Senthil. So congratulations. And also, like Avnish said, please do not key in your answers in the live chat. Wait for the live stream to win. And of course, enter your answers in the main comment section to stand eligible to win yourself a voucher.
Indeed. Pavan Suresh saying hi. Hi, Pavan. How are you? And if you're new, please subscribe. We're 15 away from 98,000 on YouTube. Please just do it before we end the show. We'll spare some your questions. That will be lovely, because right now, let me just quickly refresh the YouTube page and see how many we are. We're 14 away. 14 away. Come on. Please subscribe. And I know all you guys are watching, and it just shows there, the subscribe thing. Just press it right now. We'll move on to the 12th man segment and take all your questions, because there's been some belters throughout the show. What are we waiting for? Right, we'll start with Parth, who goes on to say, guys, do you see Pant in T20 internationals going forward? Because his record is terrible and Sanju's done very well. 12th man segment, please answer. What do you guys reckon? I think Sanju's a fix in T20 internationals. Pant is booked his spot in tests, and then ODIs, they fight for it.
I think my answer is the same. He'll get a few games, I think, given who he is. So he'll get a few games. Let's see where he gets them. That's what I'm figuring. Where do you play him now? Because you've had too many people performing at every stage. 3 पे तिलक अच्छा कर गया है, Sky पे 4 तो है ही. Then you have Hardik at 5. You could play Parag at 5. So there is spaces very little.
Okay, interesting. Shlok Barge always being cheeky, because she was asking us this question earlier about RCB's new bowling coach, Omkar Salvi. Former Mumbai Ranji guy, I take it, and of course a wealth of experience. But why have the Red Army opted for him, Akshay?
Yeah, I mean, former Mumbai coach, of course. Former as in he's still a part of their setup. He'll end the season with them before joining RCB. Was part of the campaign that helped Mumbai win their first trophy in over 8 years. Also helped them win the Irani trophy. So again, wealth of experience. Importantly, he's also been a part of the IPL. He was KKR's assistant coach for the last 4 years. He is Avishkar Salvi's younger brother. So they both, of course, we know Avishkar Salvi because of him having played for India. But
more than him playing in India, I don't even remember him playing for India. I know he has, but I remember his action, because everyone used to call me the Sasta Glenn McGrath. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And but from what we've heard, a lot of players. So apparently, there's a story about this that I saw online a few months ago when the Mumbai Association asked their key players, the likes of Sky, Ajinkya Rahane, and all of them, ki boss, abhi naya coach chahiye, kisko lena chahoge? They all unanimously said that we want Omkar Salvi, and apparently MCA tried to convince them out of it and suggested Avishkar Salvi's name. Ki boss, this guy's played international cricket. He's been a part of the IPL setup as well. But they were like, no, boss, we want Omkar Salvi. This is a dude who understands people, who understands player management, and that's apparently what he's known for, especially even with KKR. What I'm looking forward to is कि boss, अगर वेंकटेश अय्यर, नीतीश राणा, अंकुश रघुवंशी तीनों में से एक भी आ जाए ना, तो भाई मैं तो खुश. And DK has also played a pivotal role in roping in Omkar Salvi. So genuinely looking forward to it. A slight observation: we heard Mo Bobat and Andy Flower talk about how they're focusing on their domestic core. We heard Glenn Maxwell also speak about the same. The conversation he had with Mo was about the fact that they're looking at retaining an Indian core and working towards their domestic options. And now with Adam Griffith being replaced by Omkar Salvi, so there's a very clear change. There's a very clear shift in their approach. And I genuinely think this is the right way of going about it. Or this is a very interesting way of going about it. Focusing, of course. Sounds very basic, but good to see RCB now clearly also, walking the talk. So yeah, happy about it.
Look, from the outside, I can say this is an RCB fan. The fact that this guy's worked with multiple franchises before, so he's obviously knows a little bit about how other teams operate. So that's always comes in handy. I think the fact that he works in a very methodical way and slightly old school, you need these kind of blokes around, even though that you have so many data scientists in each IPL team. Good question about Shlok, who, of course, initiated that. Indeed. Abbas Kunde, and a lot of people are asking Nix this in particular because he's a CSK fan, and you spoke about Shafin Rutherford. Is it a match made in heaven?
Ideally, but it's a very big if because they've rarely played a specialist batter down the order. It's always been a pace bowling all-rounder. So if they don't get that all-rounder, and if they want to trust someone for just batting potential, then I 100% don't mind Rutherford playing.
Okay, super. Ayush Kumar has another one, RCB related. So actually, you take this one. Phil Salt in RCB would be a blockbuster. What do you think?
I mean, don't mind them at all. But अगर Phil Salt को लेना है तो they might probably even fancy RTMing Will Jackson. अगर उनको चाहिए तो both I would say are in the same mold in terms of what they can expect. Keeping, yeah, I agree. But अगर उनको keeper चाहिए, they would probably go for someone else. That's the way I'm looking at it. But yeah, I'm more than happy to have Phil Salt over there. No two questions about it.
All right. AJ Ragnarok, I'll try to take this one. Why is Harshit considered to debut when Akash is already there? Is it some specific skill differences or just purely based in match eliminations? Look, we know that Harshit can be batting better than Akash. At least domestic cricket is an evidence of that. Even though Akash has taken his chance beautifully and should play that Perth Test because he's so good against the left-handers, I think Harshit Rana could start with Akash. Unpopular choice, but I have them both in my starting 11, AJ Ragnarok. I don't know about yours. So that's how I see it. SPK 307 saying KKR coaching staff. I think they have Bharataran still. Chandu Pant will be there. That's it.
So far, these two names, they haven't officially confirmed anyone else.
Okay. Rupendra Yadav, always good to see you. CSK will look at Aaron Hardy as an overseas all-rounder.
PSK connect. He was a part of the
TSK setup. So again, fair idea, but again, I don't know if he's a starting. I know he picked 3 today, so would be unfair to say no. But
okay, how fair is it on Easwaran if KL opens ahead of him? We mentioned this again. Akshay was talking about it. I think Sridhar agreed in terms of it'll just won't set the right sort of precedent going forward. Yeah, the guy's worked his ass off in the Ranji. So even though recent form is gone against him, maybe Eastwood gets the nod come Perth. More questions, great questions coming through, which I will give.
Just while you get the question, I hope they even have a very good communication with Sarfaraz because none of us are talking about that guy. The guy was, he scored a lot of runs. If you want to back someone, he's also somebody that you can back. But apparently the notion is already that he will definitely struggle on again. We don't know. So let's hope at least that if Dhruv Jurel plays, I have no problem. Please play Dhruv Jurel. He did well in the India games. But hope the communication is clear that this is what we expect from you. And this is why you are not playing and Dhruv is playing. So hopefully that is also taken care of.
Yeah, because you're almost reading what AJ Ragnarok had to ask you in terms of that whole Sarfaraz thing. And he's asking about Washi as well. I don't know Washi, even though his form has been incredible towards that New Zealand series, I think either Jadu and Ash will play with NKR over there as well, given the surface purely. Maybe you'll see Washi at some point in time in the series, indeed. One random one coming from Darsh Munot, Akshay. Steve Smith, क्या लगता है तेरे को? Sold या unsold?
वो एक्सेलरेटेड राउंड में बिक सकता है, बट फर्स्ट में तो आई बी वेरी सरप्राइज कि कोई अगर ऐसा फर्स्ट ले ले तो.
So again, what's Star Sports hologram?
No. Papa Ponting will take care.
हो सकता है.
Also?
Yeah, I just wanted to take that one comment. I'm just searching for it. There you go. About the under 19 ones. So there are a few.
It's coming to it.
Because of course there is Arshin Kulkarni, who's already been a part of the setup, part of the LSG setup. Mushir Khan ne काफी अच्छा किया. I don't know now if teams would be interested in sort of bringing him in and grooming him in. If not, grooming him. If not, probably make him start. A player that I genuinely liked was Sachin Das. यार मेरे को देखना उसको middle order player who he looked like a proper T20 batter. Of course, ODI World Cup था तो इसलिए हम लोग ज्यादा ये नहीं कर सकते. There's Dhanush Gowda, boy, our local lad, Bangalore, stays very close to my grandparents' place and also was a part of the Mysore Warriors setup. So he's another name you can watch out for. Tall, lanky fellow, can extract a lot of bounce. Again, very much very much similar to Prasidh Krishna that way. So yeah, he's also potentially a name that teams could look at. So there are a few names.
Yeah. One name I'll add to that is Sakib Hussain. The guy was there in the last auction. He was picked up by KKR. He was with CSK and RCB. Exactly. I just hope he gets a team. Then they can take it from there.
Yeah, a guy that I'm looking forward to, he's not under 19. I think he's about 23, 24. LR Chetan could be, again, a good pick for one of the sides. Again, Karnataka boy and all of that. Some more questions to take with great glee on the 12th man segment. Nishant Tomar has this one. Nick, you can take this one. Can you see MI going for Pant? Surely getting a feeling they can do Nishant Kishan this time. Imagine that. Pant, Surya, hard pick.
आप थोड़ी सकते हैं. They can't print the money and go for them, right?
वो ऐसा कर सकते हैं. 20 crore वहाँ खर्चा करके make a bowling attack out of this base price picks. 20 लाख में जो भी मिलता है सबको उठा लेने का बस.
Far too risky, bro.
Okay.
Even to buy back Ishan, I think they may not have enough money.
They can't. They'll have to go for someone like Phil Salt, Quinton de Kock. जो ऐसा 5-6 करोड़ में मिल जाए वैसा वाला.
Yeah, and people won't let Pant go so easily to MI as well. It'll have to be a big fee and then they'll
Punjab will definitely get banned.
Yeah. That's everyone's predictions. Vishnu asking more predictions. Where is Jitesh Sharma, Ashutosh Sharma and Venkatesh Iyer going to y'all, according to y'all?
Jitesh, I generally think has RCB could be looking at him if they want to completely tweak their combination. Ek to Jitesh is one of those batters जिनको Chinnaswamy suit karega. He just sort of likes to go from get going from the from the beginning. So he would love that. And Chinnaswamy ground bhi chota hai. Keeper bhi hai. Dinesh Karthik ke liye, I wouldn't say like for like, but somewhere the middle order batters come. Keeper who's aggressive. So yeah, Jitesh actually I think RCB could be looking at him. Venkatesh Iyer to it's going to be a lot of teams will be interested in him. A lot of teams.
I don't mind Chennai going for somebody like him. Won't be a bad shout if they want somebody to bat at 3 or if they feel कि भाई Gaikwad से 3 पे बैटिंग करके वेंकी से ओपन करेंगे.
Okay, my last.
Could be Delhi. You never know.
Yeah, Ashutosh for me, I think looks like, I don't know, SRH. I could be wrong. This is like random teams that I'm yelling out now.
One thing, Ashutosh, I still think is raw. मतलब तुम लो, but उसको खिला मत. I still think he needs more time. Backup रखो.
Yeah, and Jitesh, I think, goes to LSG, according to me. Venkiyar, maybe KKR, hopefully Chandu Pandit and him again have that synergy over there. An RCB related one from an RCB fan, I'm guessing, Mohammad Haran, who's been a long-time supporter of the channel. What if RCB don't get Yuzi, he asks, because I think all you guys happily said, Yuzi for RCB. What are the other alternatives, Akshay?
The way I'm looking at it, अगर मैं depth chart बना रहा होता, I would go up to about 9 to 10 crores for UZ. That's my cap. I wouldn't go beyond that. Uske baad, I would go to someone like a Mayank Markanday, there's Zishan Ansari, again, a name that I've probably mentioned a few times here. I really loved watching him. He's attended a few trials as well. I hope he's attended the trials that are going on right now at the Chinnaswamy. आज घर आते टाइम चिन्नस्वामी के फ्लड लाइट्स चालू थे. I knew कि was Andy Flower, दिनेश कार्तिक सब अंदर बैठ के देख रहे हैं. I just want them to go for a Sasna Mazboot Tikau type leg spinner. There's Jataved Subramaniam. Again, I expect all of these to be available at their base price. Digvay Singh Rathi, he's more of a mystery spinner, so which is why I'm not too inclined towards him. I'd want a proper wrist spinner, and that's where these three names stick out. So Jataved, Mayank Markanday, Zishan Ansari. I don't want RCB going for some high funda leg spinner spending a lot of money. At best, nahi to Vanindo Asranga le lo bas.
Okay, next I have one for you, CSK related, from Saroj KR. Stoinis would be an outstanding pick for CSK, Nikhil Bhai.
TSK, na? Ye bhi?
Yeah, he's played before, so TSK खेला था, JSK खेला था. अभी
TSK नहीं, वो Washington Freedom में था. उसे टाइम पे JSK शायद. हाँ, JSK होगा.
बिल्कुल याद नहीं आ रहा है. तो again, fair call, but I'd want him to bat in the top order. I mean, I've said this even for LSG when he played for them. Yes, he played well even today, but then again he came up higher up the order because Maxwell was injured, so he came up and then he was able to play his shot. So he's good on good batting decks, and if you're playing on good batting decks, you can pick him. He can even give you a couple of overs here and there. So fair price, fair buy as well. But again, they are same in the Dwayne Pretorius, Romario Shepherd, Marcus Stoinis. It's about usage. If you pick them, you have to really use these all-rounders really well.
Okay, Guru Rai saying, where will KL go? I honestly want him back in RCB. I know the jokes around him's there, but I think he'll take it and he will be brilliant with it. Imagine that. We might not win the IPL this year, even though Mike Hesson in our very broadcast said RCB will win IPL 2025. But I think we'll win IPL 2026. And 10 years later, it's KL and Kohli beating SRH in a final.
ये साल तो खाली है ना. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा.
Okay. One more, you guys. One more. I will. Raghuveer Mahesh, can PBKS afford 50 crore for Pant or Steve Shreyas / KL?
Probably 10 too many, but they can, I feel. Because
no, they can.
If you see a look at the other teams, they have 50-60 left and they have 4-5 players ready. So उनके पास 2 है with 110 ready. So if they are able to get 40 में these 3-4 guys, so of course you can do that.
40 तो steal हो जाएगा, but 50 में and 50 में भी अगर लेते हैं ना, that would mean they'll have another 60 crores remaining with 5 proper first 11 starters, which is not too bad. Which is not too bad. Sorry, I'll just take a couple of comments from you. I'm guessing Avnish was scrolling up. So one is Soya Sharma Sanjay has mentioned. यार Soya Sharma का DPL इतना खराब था, मतलब he was so bad. He was rank bad, and I just hope for his sake he's done well at the trials he might have attended. But if we are to go by what the DPL, what he did at the DPL, he was just very bad. He was the marquee pick for Central Delhi, if I'm not wrong. बहुत खराब था. Just short balls, कहीं पे control नहीं था. Googlies पे बिल्कुल control नहीं था. Was getting whacked left, right, and center. So it'll be difficult. And the other one was Allah Ghazanfar. भाई ये नाम थोड़ा अपने को देखना पड़ेगा. I know he's coming in later, so that might probably go against him. But उसके अलावा भाई साहब ये जो तहलका मचा रहे हैं अभी, like this guy is definitely one to watch out for. And a name that I probably missed out on. I don't mind RCB going for him as well.
Okay, super.
And again, there are a few options for 2-3 names that I'll give for leg spinners. There is Shreyas Chavan from Maharashtra. He could get a few. He's attended a lot of trials. There is Chintal Gandhi as well. And there is Vipraj Nigam. I don't think if he's registered, but if he has, again, good people to, and again Zishan Ansari to hai. So there are enough options. Let's hope they trust him also.
Trials he attend kar raha hai.
Yeah, exactly. A few more and then we'll wrap proceedings. It's always great to take you guys and your questions, because that is the fulcrum of the show, just community building and interaction. Amit Pavan had this earlier. Thoughts on having a timer for teams to come back with a bid? Few teams wantedly drag putting their paddle up. Yes, no. What do you suggest?
Yeah, I don't mind. More drama, bro.
See, as a
fair warning. Are you ready? अरे भाई चल आगे बढ़, पनवेल निकलना है. So Yeah.
As a TV viewer, I understand why we would want that, because I remember how much time Charu Sharma took for that Dinesh Karthik video. मेरे को 3.6 में बिक चुका था, लेकिन चारू शर्मा ने बोला नहीं, मैं नहीं जाने का CSK, then raised it till 5.5. But again, you also need to understand for teams that the lot of like they have to think about a lot. So थोड़ा तो type दे दो.
And again,
so
see, we are not saying that the timer has to be short, but have some fair amount के भाई इतना time के बाद तो you should probably take a call.
I feel that should be for RTMs. वो RTM के लिए होना चाहिए, because that's where it can actually be executed. Like एक बार paddle गिरते, you guys have whatever 240 seconds or 300 seconds to make your decision. But for each individual bid night becomes very tricky. कि boss मतलब उसने कब bid किया वो calculation. So it'll be.
No, I like that. I agree with you, Akshay, but the 240, 300 seconds is just like 4-5 minutes, and broadcasters will never allow that. So I think they'll probably curtail it to like a 60 seconds, but it'll be even more dramatic to see, all those guys go for it, because it'll be fucking fun, I'm telling you. I'll wrap up our MNL chat this week with also our best auction memories. So that will end the show, and then, of course, just sum up a great show. From one Amit, let's move on to the next one, and then 2 more questions that we're done. Amit Gurai had this one to ask us earlier. Evan Lewis at RCB.
Not bad, but first 11 के लिए नहीं यार. अभी मतलब time भी हो गया उसको. I know last CPL उसका
भाई last CPL छोड़ अभी का series देख ले भाई, मतलब
अभी का series नहीं देखा, but फिर भी मेरे को मतलब I better. That's it.
That is crazy. Iyer and Pant फिर एक साथ क्यों? I don't think they're going to be going to the same team together.
अरे जैसे जतिन सप्रू ने बोला यार, Jatin Sabru said in one of his interviews yesterday, when he said Iyer and Pant could potentially be both playing together, Iyer can decide where he does not want to play after the season ends. एक बार ऑक्शन में कोई आके पैसे देता है, आपको खेलना है. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि मेरे को नहीं खेलना. बाद में तुम जो चाहिए.
Come into the auction for money. So
exactly. So you can't.
That is true. One more to next from Ayush. Can Pant go to the CSK, considering he's a wicketkeeper and success at MST as well as CSK 12th man segment?
I mean, how can you say no to that prospect? But the point is the money. There isn't enough money, and people will not let it come cheap to you. Like we said for Mumbai as well, he's not going to come cheaper than 25. That's the bare minimum that he can go for. So, because Chennai also need a lot of bowling options and proven options for that, maybe there isn't enough room. Hopefully someday he will come to Pant. If they want to go, see, just them randomly, if they can do the 20 lakh bid what he said, Chennai, then I'm happy to take Rishabh Pant now. कि एक साल बर्बाद कर दो, अगले साल किसी को रिलीज करके get the bowlers in, but that's just, it's a fantasy and not a real thing.
Okay, another one coming your way. Chinmay saying Warner to RCB next, available full season left right captain option suits Chinnaswamy.
Yeah, he's good for unboxing events also.
Nikhil Bhai will want RCB to take him, because
why not?
Exactly, but ask RCB fans if they want. Bhai, Warner should be unseen. कोई भी अगर bid डाला उसको एक लाफा दो और player दे दो.
No, I agree. Warner to RCB for sure, but at the hospitality box, not in the playing 11. He can come watch as many games. We'll spoil him with sushi and whiskey, no chance. Hayes going on to say, I can assure you CSK won't even bid for Pant. They will bid for his position, maybe though. And AJ Ragnarok saying, you guys have discussed so many names, but missed the most important ones. What about Arjun Tendulkar and Agni Chopra? Bhupesh going on to say, unpopular opinion, but I think Rishabh Pant is not a good captain. He was captain for DC for 3 years, but they did not qualify for playoffs. And Hayes also saying who will be the most unexpected buy at the auction. I don't think it'll be the 13-year-old Vaibhav. Neither will I think it's the 42-year-old Jimmy. So unexpected buy.
James Anderson.
I still think Rahane or Manish Pandey, one of them.
But somebody will get. Somebody will get them at base price. I think Anderson would be the most unexpected buy from the list that is coming.
Yeah, maybe Anderson.
बहुत मुश्किल है guess कर पाना.
But yeah, and then there was.
By the way, you wanted us.
Yeah. What?
So auction memories. You asked us auction memories.
The auction memories. But it's crazy because the love that we get for this final segment, 12th man, it just keeps going on, and people won't stop it. I can't do anything about it. And Karthik, I'm guessing, is a new name to the channel. please, and we will do this, Santosh. 100% we will do this on Saturday. I'm sorry, Sunday, for sure. And we are showcasing our live plans also. But Karthik, sorry, going on to ask us this: if Rohit and Kohli don't have a good series, should this be the end of the Test format? We've all had our say on the preceding MNLs on this. We personally don't believe that. If it happens, it happens. But given that England is also a big series around the corner, Rohit and Kohli, I think, will be firm favourites for that, even if they have a half-decent series this time around. Great questions, but I'll have to stop the 12th man segment there. Chinmay, Atliya, get involved in the watch-along. 100% will take all your questions.
Yeah.
Keep
Every
going.
question will be answered.
Exactly. And the live shows that Nix and Som are going to be doing as well, that's going to be plenty to unravel because it comes after the day one of the auction and after day two of the auction where MNL will see Nix again. Vinod Raju saying punt to RCB for 20 crores. In fact, we're less than 20. Speaking of 20, about subscribers to 98K. We're 10 away. Please, 10 people watch this. And right now, there's what, 118 of you all on YouTube. I know 10 of you all haven't subscribed. I'm watching you all right now. Do it as we just finish up the show by asking you all the best IPL auction memories really quickly, boys. That's the MNL question of the night. We don't have a graphic for it. But what do you think of when I mention IPL auction? I'll go first. I think of Vijay Mallya smoking a cigar. Okay, no, he wasn't smoking a cigar at the auction room, but basically invisibly smoking a cigar and saying, Anil Kumble, you can't touch him. You can't touch him. So that's mine. My recent memory, Akshay, was Preeti Zinta, I think, very confident, thinking that they'll get Daryl Mitchell, right? And pops the paddle up, going once. Oh, what and that's the best IPL auction reel last time, for sure.
Agreed. That reel was done pretty well. Yeah.
So what's the best auction memory for you? Akshay, you first.
So I'll have to say the one lasting memory for me will have to be the 2011 auction. That was the first time where it was properly marketed and televised. That mega auction where Gautam Gambhir went for 2.9 mil, Rohit Sharma went for 2, Uttapa went for 2.6. But for me, it was Ashwin's buy. So the war was between CSK and RCB. I don't know if you guys remember. Sort of similar to what Vijay Mallya did, except that when Vijay Mallya did that, no one else bid for Kumble. But in Ashwin's case, Vijay Mallya raised the paddle. And then it was Kasi, if I'm not wrong, or it was probably Gurunath Mayappan, who just had his paddle up. And Vijay just kept doing this. And then at $850,000, he did this. So that was that's a memory that I have. In hindsight, it proved to be a lot more fatal because Ashwin ended up taking care of Chris Gayle in the final and we got properly told off. But yeah, that's a memory I remember.
I agree. So many guys letting loose their memories in the IPL auction. Nix, what is yours?
The first definitely has to be MS going to Chennai. It felt very weird at that point of time. Wow, man. I mean, I expected him to be probably part of Mumbai or Bangalore, and then to see him go for that sum with Chennai, it was like, wow, great. And just after that, a few seasons, always loved Flintoff. And when Flintoff came to Chennai, I was like, wow, bro, Freddie Flintoff is in Chennai. And then injury happened and didn't even play enough games. So that to me was a very early child fanboy memory of the auction. Baki, again, too many mentioned already.
Super. Guys, look, you guys have been absolute sports as ever, Nikhil and Akshay, and we've, of course, crossed the 2-hour mark at this MNL. It's very rare that we do that, but look, it's very little that we see days like what we're going to see on the 24th and 25th. It's going to be unprecedented. It's almost like you have the BGT also, and this. It's every Indian cricket fan's dream indeed. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. And Nikhil, your final say.
We just have one more guy to come in, so subscribe. So please.
Oh, yes. 97,999. Who is the 98,000 subscriber? Let's do it and then end the show.
Yeah, exactly. Live pick karte. Come on, boys. Come on.
Come on, lads.
Yeah.
And Kushal Shah, you have an excellent comment. Guys, you guys are still going. मैंने dinner चालू किया, काम खत्म किया, shower लिया, TT खेल गया, cats को खिलाया, and you're still going. Respect. Honestly.
What else we have for Kushal bhai?
What else we have? Too good, honestly.
Oh, yes, it is 98,000. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Oh, my God. Tears to my eye. We're 2K more away from 100K, and we'll celebrate that journey with you guys. But until the next time, thank you so much for all of you guys joining us in this elongated Monday Night Live. So much to look forward to. And let me just quickly give you our plans this week for all you lovers of cricket.com content, right? So first up, and mark your calendars, we'll try to put a creative out. So Monday Night Live, if you guys have just joined us, you can rewatch the whole goddamn thing. Already 1,800 views, and hopefully that will match up last week's 8K amazing podcast as well. Akshay will put it on Spotify after the show. So all you listeners, listen carefully right now. And congrats on 98. Thank you so much. What else is CDC doing this week? Tomorrow, we're going to be putting out a Mel Farrell interview at 12 o'clock. That's amazing. At 6 p.m., Mike Hessin. Yes, Mike Hessin and his IPL auction yarn and tips. I had the pleasure of speaking to him and how it just goes about it. So those two are good ones to watch. Wednesday, 6 p.m., Akshay has done a brilliant IPL auction explainer for all the small doubts, nitty-gritties, FAQs. You guys will see that. Thursday, it doesn't stop there, because Thursday we're going unwind number one of the week, which is Abhinav Manohar, the man who's won an IPL with Gujarat Titans. So he's on our podcast, and we've spoken to him about the IPL auction, how much he wants to go for, where he wants to go to, all unraveled. And then, of course, tomorrow after that, which is a Friday, we're going to be speaking to another IPL winner in K. Gautam. And he's going to spill the beans about which team he wants to go to. So much to get into this week. And not to forget the small matter of the watch-alongs on Sunday and Monday for you guys. And plenty of other live shows. Right. I'm done, guys. Literally 2 hours, 15 minutes. We all deserve a hell of a dinner. And like all the guys are saying, congrats, love, Sabash boys. And really, that's exactly what makes us happy on a Monday. If you guys are watching this, wherever you guys work, remember this. Love what you do, embrace it, and trust me, life will be a breeze. And those words of wisdom, it's a goodbye from me, Avnish Hegde, Akshay Kumar Swami, and Nikhil Popat. Follow all of us for all the IPL Bakchodi in the next week, and we're out of here. Cheers, lads. See you.
Cheers.
Where's the fucking whiskey?